papers? I'm a Russian border patrol officer.
And I'm trying to get into my chair.
That old man grunt just then.
Actually, I'm 33, so
yeah,
it's just a regular grunt.
Well, according to 20-year-olds, you might as well be 80.
Yeah, I know. I got a real big problem with 20-year-olds.
Well, 20-year-olds have a problem with you.
Soft, pliable 20-year-olds.
Don't describe young people as pliable. Oh, my God. What are you, a groomer?
No.
Well, you're saying they're pliable.
Yeah, because they're soft, like taffy.
And they can be molded into the shape you desire?
No.
Like grooming?
Like, if you just pulled on them, they just snap, you know?
If you pulled on me, I would snap.
Yeah, well.
My joints and bones would forget I exist.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about mentally, not
okay.
bone-bonely.
Well, I mean, who's mentally rigid these days anyway?
Me. I'm grizzled from a life at sea.
Where's your widow's walk?
I
see. It's right there.
Yeah, you're sitting
literally. And there's a fire escape. You could just climb right up there and pine for your lost husband
and escape
for
fire.
George Clooney. Yeah, by going up.
Well, up, down. I would go the opposite direction of the fire.
I would jump onto the roof of your neighbor's house from there.
I'd like to see you try, but I think you would die.
I bet you I could.
I bet you would fall and you'd probably hurt yourself quite a bit.
You're probably right. It's a little bit further than I thought.
I don't want to have to call
Ghostbusters?
Anybody.
Oh. Well, you'd have to call Ghostbusters eventually because you know if I die, I'm haunting the shit out of you.
Good.
You have no idea.
Good. That's your loss.
I'm just going to whisper the word ectoplasm into your ear at 3 a.m. every night.
Good.
Ectoplasm.
I'll be like, oh.
Some of my goo. Oh.
And then...
Well, that was Matt jerking off, just so everybody knows. That's the noise that he makes, I guess.
Well...
It sounds labored. It sounds like it takes too much effort.
You gotta make some noise. That's how you let the neighbors know you're having fun.
Right. So that they don't just come barging in. Oh, it sounds like he's jerking off. I better knock.
You know what?
From inside, behind the door.
If it sounds like that's what I'm doing...
Chances are you are?
No. Don't knock. Give me a minute, for fuck's sakes, you animal. You know what I'm doing. You guessed it.
Don't fucking knock. You're going to ruin my flow. Coming.
Well, this is
what is said.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people knock.
And what are we, 2 minutes into the podcast? How many
about coming already.
Let's change. It's a nice change from the fecal.
That's true.
The fecal facts we spew.
Well, it depends on the person. Sometimes they're related.
This is Grindhouse Movie Club.
Yes, it is.
By the way,
what a Grindhouse Movie Club. The podcast where you get to not so much hear us drink from coffees anymore these days.
Yeah. I'll have you know that both my hands are free and I'm reaching to the Lord.
It's so nice, actually, not having my arm get fucking exhausted halfway through this.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever held your arm in one position for 3 hours.
It takes its toll on the old buys and tries.
But look at how buff my forearms
are.
God. They're just my forearms.
Pipes.
Yeah.
That's the some people are super barrel chested. Some people work on their fucking lats so much that they can't, if you put a Post-it on the center of their back, they can't reach it to pull it off. We're just doing forearm. Every day is arm day.
We got podcast fours.
Yeah. Oh man.
Thanks, Andrew, for
choke out an elephant.
Thanks, Andrew, for choking out an elephant.
Yeah, in order to record the audio.
And then also making the podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
For the music.
Woo!
There. And also go to grindhousemovie.club.
Go right to that.
I feel like you don't go there enough, and I just want you to just check it out.
We keep looking at the traffic analytics, and we're only seeing 3 or 4 people go there. That's bullshit. I don't know how many people go there. Probably a bunch.
I don't know. I'm a busy guy. I can't always be checking these things.
If you're a first-time listener, how the fuck did you find it? But welcome. How on God's green earth? What friend plagued you with this situation?
Or were you looking for something online and you accidentally found this? Either way,
we're gonna start hashtagging educational in the tags for each episode because technically it is. We are teaching you something.
Education.
It's what movies are worth being watched and what aren't.
Yeah. Okay. You know what?
You know,
it's fine.
This week, Final Destination is indeed worth watching.
And look. Not only are you going to learn that this movie's worth watching, you're going to learn a few tips and tricks on how to stay alive.
Yeah, that's true.
I wrote down a few here.
Nice. Plenty of advice.
Yeah.
I got a couple myself, but they're mostly related to the mistakes that the characters make in the movie.
Oh, yeah. There's
a lot. There's a lot of mistakes.
There's so many so that to get into them right now, we would just be describing the film.
Yes, which is going to happen.
It might. I mean, we don't have to do that. We could do whatever we want.
That's true.
We could tell people to go to Grindhouse
End
Movie.
of podcast right now. See ya.
Dot.
Dot club.
We could do whatever we want. You want to gab for like 20, 30 minutes about, I don't know, vegetables that come in the mail?
I don't like that vegetables come in the mail.
I don't like it either.
I have a hard enough time getting, like, non-food related. What if I'm starving? I just had to go to the Purolator Depot to pick up the fucking SIM card for my phone because the guy lied and said he tried to buzz into my building and couldn't. It was like, so I got the phone, and the phone, I had to get a new phone because mine is a piece of garbage. I got the fucking phone, and it required a signature because it's a piece of expensive technology, and the woman from dispatch on the phone said, you don't have to sign it. Just leave a note on the door saying, so I like all day I'm stressing knowing that there's a whole phone just sitting in my hallway ready to be taken. And I know that people fucking steal packages because there's been notes in the elevator from maintenance like, please don't take packages if they're not yours.
Oh, thanks, maintenance.
Like anybody who reads that is going to give a fuck if they're already taking packages.
The dude who's tightening the bolts on the radiator wants you to leave those packages alone.
Shout out to Jeff. He saw me in a Zoo York sweater once and he laughed at me. That's about it. Anyway, so that worked fine. I got the phone, but then the SIM card also required a signature, and I figured, okay, it's going to be the same thing. I'll just leave the note out. Nope. Nope. And then he held it for a day, and then he pretended to try and deliver it again the next morning, but he just dropped it at the depot. So I had to drive all the way out there.
He probably put it in his phone and used your data.
Yeah, probably. That explains a lot. Spotify takes up uses a lot of data.
Yeah, don't use Spotify.
Well, I've just been downloading playlists on Wi-Fi instead.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't have the energy to curate a 16 gig SD card of music.
That's a lot of gigs.
It is. I spend a lot of time that would otherwise be spent in silence at work, and I need to not have that.
Why don't you just hum? Take up humming.
You have no idea. I work with a guy who fucking hates whistling, and you have no idea. Like, so many people whistle on job sites. Whistling is like everyone's favorite thing to do.
For sure it is.
So that guy's just like in hell half of every day.
What's your favorite thing to whistle?
My favorite thing actually is to freestyle rap about AIDS and my penis.
Oh.
That's generally what I do.
I see.
Really making everybody around me upset any way that I can.
I'm leaving.
Oh, okay. Ugh. Just get right back down there.
Normally I whistle about, life.
Well, whistling isn't lyrical.
It is when I do it.
Oh. You're like a Mongolian throat singer.
Check it
out. Combined the... Yep.
I can't whistle right now.
Why does whistling sound like the same as you blowing your nose?
Well, it's because I just don't have my whistle isn't wet.
Oh, well, you should wet that.
It's not my job.
I got you. Whose job is it? Well, whose job is it to make your mouth moist?
If you want to hear the whistling so damn bad.
Oh, I got to come over there and wet your whistle for you? Why does it sound like I'm peeing in your mouth?
It would just be nice to have somebody do it for me, and I'm sick of doing it all the time, you know?
Everything in life is an inconvenience. Not an inconvenience, because that's not a word.
No, my favorite thing to whistle is have you seen that movie, Close Encounters?
Yeah.
Yeah, that fucking...
You're just trying to communicate with aliens 24/7.
do 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 do.
You're really hoping that somewhere in the sky something whistles back.
Oh yeah. So I do that at work. I just very loud and long, and I just walk away.
Nice. Well, they shot that UFO out of the sky over to the fucking lake, so maybe that's them coming to get you.
I've been calling these people.
I don't see a single potato sculpture in this room.
Wow.
Mashed potatoes.
Come on. That's a lot of potatoes.
It is, dude. It was like a 3-foot tall volcano that the guy made.
He didn't even put ketchup in it.
Well, that's gross, so I'm glad.
Oh, so what comes out of your mashed potato volcano?
Gravy.
Okay. Acceptable.
How's that? And then if it's really hot, it's like a pyroclastic flow.
You wouldn't have done well at Thanksgiving dinner as a child.
Oh my God.
My
The two
house.
things that I hate the most that people put in potatoes: ketchup and ranch.
Ranch?
Yes.
Ew.
It's some fucking rednecky choice. I have no idea. I have people in my family that ranch up their potatoes, and it's like you're making a disgusting cake icing.
I'm against it.
Yep.
I'm 100% against it.
That's real gross. Like, potatoes have no natural flavor, so you're basically just drinking ranch.
And that's why you don't want them in the mail.
That's true. They get soft and gross. I'm glad that you brought it full circle like that.
Yep. Well, I saw my opportunity and I jumped in there.
Yeah, perfect. You got 2 sentences or less for Final Destination?
Yeah, I do actually. Sometimes dying is a lot easier than dealing with death.
Like, why wouldn't you just nip it in the bud? The one character, Carter, in this movie is like, all right, well, if I'm gonna die anyway because death wants me to die, I'm gonna take control of it. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I would have done.
Yeah, like, oh, how
I'll just jump off a fucking bill. Here, just give him a hand.
sure I survived this, but then
What about literally the next second of my life until
Yeah.
I die?
nah, I'm not dealing with that.
At all. I don't need that looming over me.
I'm also never going to Paris.
No, fuck that place.
I'm sorry.
Fuck that place.
I'm sorry. I can get baguettes at Metro.
I can get baguettes and a bad attitude at Metro.
Yeah, I can get baguettes, a bad attitude, and fucking some mumbling I don't understand, all at Metro.
It's like a 6-hour drive to Montreal from here. All right? If I wanted to get mouthed off at for not speaking a different language than English, I would just do that. I don't need to get on a plane for it. Yeah. You just you just confessed to a triple homicide in French.
Oh, I was trying to summon Satan, but that's cool too.
You want my 2 sentences or less?
Yeah.
9/11 changed everything.
9/11 did change everything.
Isn't that fucked?
This
Isn't
was
that
right
crazy?
before 9/11.
This movie is about a year and a half before 9/11 is when it came out, March 2000.
And I gotta tell you, 9/11 changed everything.
This movie wouldn't exist after 9/11. Not
Oh
in the
my
way
God.
that it is.
And this movie would have been shut down in the first couple minutes when she's like, "Did anybody give you anything that wasn't yours?" And he
Yeah.
pulls up the pamphlet. He would have been slammed against the table. He would have been in cuffs with something up his ass. And that something would be a digit from
I
a...
literally, I gotta find where I wrote it. Because, like, you could tell that this is a pre-9/11 movie in the way that the main character doesn't end up in an orange jumpsuit on an island with a fucking German Shepherd barking in his face
Yeah.
right away.
The way they just, like, chuckle off. They're like, yeah, I got this pamphlet. Also, the way
Yeah.
that just people are in the airport and, like...
Just fine.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, I thought I'd just come into the airport and not go anywhere today.
Nobody's nervously shaking.
We-
Not a single X-ray. Not a single X-ray machine to walk through.
Not a
No
single.
UV version of your little dick at the airport for everybody behind you to see.
It's my favorite thing.
Oh my
You,
god.
you gotta flip it upwards.
You gotta tuck it into your fucking waistline?
Yeah, because they'll be like, whoa.
What is that, sir? That's my. You ever see the guy getting frisked? It's like an episode of Cops or something
Oh.
like that. And the dude's frisking him, and it's like, "What is this, sir?" "That's my penis." "That's your penis." All right. Fuck.
He fucking grabs it like it's a flashlight.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, man. Final Destination.
Final Destination.
I made a point of counting all of the foreshadowing moments before the initial plane crash in this movie.
Okay. All right.
8.
Before the plane crash.
8.
So you got 8 moments in that like minute and a half.
10 minutes, but yeah.
Okay. My bad.
8 foreshadowings.
Okay.
First one, right in the opening credits, amongst the books that the main character Alex is packing for his trip to Paris, the kids are going on a senior trip to Paris, France, with 2 chaperones, only one of whom speaks French. So that's going to be a really fun trip for everyone else.
Yeah, important to note that they're going to Paris.
Yeah.
Paris, France.
Right there in the pile of books that he's packing is Death of a Salesman. Which has nothing to do with a plane crash or your inevitable demise. It's just the word death on a book.
You know what else he's packing? Which really, I didn't understand why he was packing this book.
Okay.
A fucking atlas. A great big fat ass atlas.
A fat ass atlas.
You're going to Paris.
A fatless.
You're going to
one single place.
Yeah.
Just get one of the road maps that folds. What are you doing to yourself?
He's got a travel guide as well. What do you need this? You're not going across the globe.
Carry-on luggage is charged by weight. He's just racking up his own fucking bill.
He really is. All right. Next foreshadow. Let me see if I wrote it down too.
Well, this one's a little bit on the nose, but Alex, while he's packing, his parents come in and his mom rips the tag off from the last flight.
Oh, like a bitch she does.
Murders everyone. That Alex's mother murders everyone in this movie by doing that.
Yeah,
because
she does.
literally, I figure it's good luck to have the tag still on from the last flight that didn't crash, and she goes, "Fuck that! I hope it does."
And like, it's not even a flight that he went on. That's his dad's bag. His dad comes in. How's my bag working out for you?
Yeah, out of the goodness of my heart and soul, I gave you this huge bag with the tag on it for good luck. Nah.
He's like, hey, don't do that. What, this? You fucking kid.
Alex's mom sets the rabbit's foot on fire in front of him and watches it burn.
Okay, I did get that one. I got that one too.
Second foreshadowing, death is not the end, which is in the airport when the weird Tibetan brainwashy monk hands him the pamphlet that he waves as the answer to whether or not he's been handed anything.
There's that, yep.
Princess Diana, Claire, or Clear, as her name is Clear, not Claire in the movie for some fucking reason. She's reading a news article about Princess Diana, also known as Princess Di.
She's reading a book, and she drops it, and then Alex picks it up and hands it to her with that page like wide open.
Yup.
And she just looks at it like, oh.
I guess she said, fuck that book, because later on, while she's sitting down waiting for the flight, she's reading Tropic of Cancer. That's another foreshadowing, because that book was written by Henry Miller. And the reason why he named it that is because cancer represents, and I wrote this down, I read an interview with him, disease of civilization, the end point on the wrong path, the necessity to change course, to radically and completely start over from scratch. Oh, okay. The word terminal is zoomed in on while he's watching the fucking departure times.
Oh, yeah. And
flip around.
And it's like a busted, or it's got like a wire sticking out somewhere.
Yep,
as well.
It sure does. We got the whole John Denver, like the common theme throughout the movie, but that's like, and he just says that while he's shitting. Todd, his friend, spends a suspicious amount of time shitting in this movie. He does a lot of shitting, Todd.
He's not very good at shitting, too. I'll tell you why later.
And then when they get on the flight, there's a baby crying, and a couple things. Number one, you know this movie's made in the 2000s when you can get away with looking at a baby and the character says, the younger the better. Ooh.
9/11 changed everything.
And then you got to be a fucked up god to crash this flight.
Oh, boy.
Whoops.
That's
all 8 of them before the plane even crashes.
I think you missed one.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Which?
So when he's like, when the mom's ripping the luggage tag off.
Oh, his fucking dad says every horrible thing you would ever say to a 17-year-old before getting on an airplane.
Oh, yeah, live it up. You got your whole life ahead of you.
Boo! Zooms right in on his face slowly, too. Oh, good. And then he looks up like, what did you just fucking say to me, Dad?
You're telling me to live my life to the fullest, you piece of fucking shit? Why don't you go out for milk and never come back, you fuck? I'm taking your luggage, shithead.
At this high school, I noticed that the, I don't know if it's the football team or what, I assume it is, but it's the Fighting Colonials, which is the white racist version of the Redskins.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. We had it coming. We've had it good long enough. You got us.
The only way to be racist to white people is to talk about colonization like it wasn't a horrible triumph for white people.
You got us.
Whoops. Todd, while we're getting on this flight, we're introduced to two characters who die right away. This is one of the few movies that the way that it introduces the main cast is by killing literally everyone else.
It's like playing Guess Who.
Yeah. Just start flipping those down.
Do they have glasses? Are they a main character?
Is it a girl named Blake? Flip. So fucking Todd says hi to Blake, and then Alex is like, "You're the man."
Was it
That's
Alex
all
or
it takes.
I think it was his brother. His brother's like, "Yeah, you're the man."
Either way, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Saying hi to a 6 out of 10. That makes you That makes you Casanova, apparently.
Well, in his brother's eyes.
I don't like that kids translates to infants in French because it makes it creepier. When the one chaperone who speaks French is far too excited about taking a bunch of underage kids on an airplane to a place where the liquor laws are a little bit more relaxed.
Jay, you're reading too much into this. He's just a French-loving teacher.
Yeah.
I had a teacher who was...
freewheeling French-loving teacher.
I had a teacher who was just like this. And because my school was in a rural farm.
Yeah, a farm.
We didn't get to have a nice, fancy Paris, France field trip. No.
Neither did I.
We went to Quebec.
I didn't even go that far. I went to Toronto. Oh, sick! The place that sucks ass right now and always?
Hey, it used to be good.
What's the main attraction? Going up the CN Tower and standing on a glass floor.
Yeah.
What else is good about Toronto at age 17? I wasn't even 17, I was like 15. There's nothing good there. Robbery.
You could well,
exactly. That's exactly right.
You could have went to the IMAX that was in a dome.
Ooh.
You could have went to the
Air Canada Center back when it was still called that.
You could have went to the steam whistle factory.
Oh yeah.
You
Under the age of 19, which is the legal drinking age in Canada, I'll just go to the steam whistle factory and smell hops.
Yeah.
I could just go to my fucking mom's house and do that.
Oh.
Not because she drinks a lot, because she lived across the street from a brewery for a while. Just to clarify. Oh, shit. Very important distinction to be made there. I'm sorry, I guess I gave the impression that my mother is a crippling alcoholic.
Oh, my God.
On the topic of teachers wanting to fuck students, how bad does Miss Luton want to fuck Alex
Not
at the
at
beginning
all.
of this movie? Real
What are you
bad.
talking about?
She saves him from the weird pamphlet guy. It reminded me of Airplane. You remember he's walking through the airport and like religious people keep trying to like hand him pamphlets and convert him to whatever religion it is, and he just like starts suplexing nuns.
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
I wish somebody had done that to this
Fuck,
guy.
I haven't been, I don't know, I guess, it is after 9/11, maybe they're not there anymore, but like I haven't been accosted by any of those people in an airport.
You can't hand anybody anything in an airport anymore because of 9/11.
Did 9/11 change everything?
It may have. It very well may have. Some research
Shit.
should be done.
Shit. All of it, the whole thing.
The whole thing.
9/11 just took everything and turned it on its side, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then on its head and then on its other side, like an aileron roll that you would do with an airplane if you were trying to commit 9/11.
Commit
9/11, yeah. I knew as I was ending the sentence that I was going to say that, and I was like, I'm just going to say it anyway.
That's all right. Hey, it's fine. I heard it and I accepted it. So before we get to the airport, this dude he's sleeping. Alex is sleeping in his bed. It's 1:00. It's 1:08.
Ooh.
Or something, and then like it kind of fades to 1:80.
How do you not avoid the number 180 for the rest of your life, regardless of whether or not death is trying to chase you, when that's the flight that crashed,
right?
That you were on, or that you would have been on. That's like it's an anti number now. Anytime, if I was on a plane, Flight 180, and I saved myself by having a premonition, I would never want to see 180 again.
Oh yeah, no.
I would be OCD about that number and avoiding it.
If I had $180, I'd spend it all.
Yep.
Get that right out of my wallet. Get that shit gone.
I'll turn that into just the zero.
So this film was originally called Flight 180.
Mm-hmm.
It was also originally an idea for X-Files. So
Yes, I saw that.
that's pretty sweet. In Chinese, the title is The Death God Comes, which sounds way better.
It does.
Way
Also,
better.
but like at the same time, it sort of gives it away. So I understand.
I mean, Final Destination. It's
It makes sense if you know what that, like, the contextually that it's really bad that airports use that phrase ever. A lot of George Carlin here. I'm gonna make a couple George Carlin references regarding this plane crash. He's got a whole bit about airport safety, and it's relevant.
My favorite is the near miss.
Yeah, that's a near hit. A collision is a near miss.
Did they hit? Nearly. So yeah, there's a lot of 180 in this movie, just around, and you see it, and you go, oh, why is it?
Because when you see death, you want to turn 180 degrees and walk in the other direction.
You goddamn right. That's smooth as
You know?
fuck. So we're not gonna beat around the bush.
No.
Look, Sean William Scott is in this fucking movie.
I'll tell you what. His name is Billy in this movie. No, it's not. It's fucking Stifler.
I wrote Stifler.
Sean William Scott is Stifler in everything that he's in, period.
It
has the same producer as American Pie. I want you to know that.
Good. I'll tell you what. When I
His
see
name's like Walter Ziti or something, which is a type of pasta, so I'm sorry.
when I see Stifler, there's no like getting around it. He can't be anybody else in this movie. I don't know if they were trying to make him like a innocent, like, hey, like a dork, but
They ended up making him retarded.
well, they made him Stifler. This is what I'm saying. He can't be anybody else.
They gave him a substantial mental deficit, is what they did.
They sure did.
Oh my God.
Like when he comes up and starts like asking Alex like if he could like see the future, he's like,
Can I ask out the chick? Please tell me that I'll be able to see a football game before I die. Yeah, man, that's on your list of priorities. Not like saying goodbye to your mother.
oh my God, during the plane crash, he spills his milk duds.
Oh shit!
All
I
over
didn't
the
even
floor.
notice the milk duds, dude.
Oh, that's all I was just.
That's hilarious.
I'm pretty sure I wrote it here. Yep, there it is.
Of course, he spills his fucking milk duds. You just wrote milk duds and you highlighted it.
Milk duds all over the floor. It was important.
Holy shit!
So okay, we're at the airport, and the jocks they've got their Letterman jackets on because
they do.
everybody still wears those. It's before 9/11.
Everybody still wears the clothes that they wear to class, even though they're not in it. So there's your Letterman jacket.
Yep.
Don't dress comfortably for a plane flight. Nah, wear the same stuffy, shitty, stiff fabric coat that you're forced to wear for the national anthem.
Well, how are people to know that he plays sports and is on a team?
Probably by the way that he just stops just short of beating the shit out of Sean William Scott like a dozen times in the movie.
Yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit.
It really is.
Is he the same guy who gives Sean William Scott the bag of luggage that's far too heavy for him?
So that he falls backwards onto the cold, hard pavement in front of all of his friends? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's also the same guy that almost runs him down on his bike at least twice.
Oh, yeah. For being... Look.
I don't understand why like any of these people are friends. With the exception of Todd and Alex, nobody should be getting along here. Claire is like the clear outcast. She's the one that she's the alcove kid from my high school.
She's the book girl.
Yeah, she sits in the corner by the window and speaks to nobody by choice. We have a jock. We have nebulous ass Alex and Todd, which I don't even know what they do.
They're just guys. They're just bros. They just pal out.
Narrowly avoiding death by plane crash turns Alex into a fucking wannabe pilot later. He's just got so many airplane books.
Oh,
he's just reading about airplanes.
I was wondering what you were
talking about. The last thing
about.
you'd want to read about after not getting in a plane crash by the skin of your teeth.
I mean, it's either the last thing you want to read about or it's all you obsess over for the rest of your life.
He turns into fucking Charlie Day when he's trying to figure out who Pepe Sylvia is about plane crashes.
There is no 9/11.
We've already been fired. Also... This is another way that you know that Carter, the jock, is a dick. In every movie about high school students, for some reason, there has to be that couple that are so horned up that they practically fuck in public.
Oh, they mouth fuck in the airport.
Where are your chaperones? You got two teachers right around. Like, nobody's going to break up this underage intercourse that's occurring in broad daylight.
Well, you got one who's too busy. Like, he probably said something. It was in French. Nobody the fuck understood it.
Yep.
This guy started speaking French before they got into the airport.
Yeah, he did. He's trying to gear
Settle
him up.
the fuck down. And second of all, the other teacher, I don't know. I don't know.
Miss Luton.
She was doing something else.
She's like eyeing up Alex's dick and balls through his pants.
Well, yeah,
through his baggy ass 2000 slacks. That's Generation X outfit all movie.
That's not what she was doing.
I mean, she told Jesus to fuck off on his behalf.
Well, what she said was, with the Hare Krishna guy's like, death is not the end, and it will be for you if you keep harassing my students.
Yeah, and then as she's backing away, you can see her mouth fuck off at him.
Ooh.
So she told God to fuck off, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I will."
Oh boy, wow! Everybody's really sealing their fates here.
Todd, coming in clutch with the best piece of advice you could ever give somebody before a flight: shit first, shit in the terminal.
Oh,
the last
boy.
thing you want to do is turn that metal tube in the air into a fog bank.
Oh my God! Yep. Yeah, he comes right out and he's like, "Hey, how about you and I go shit together?" And now, this movie's quite old.
Alex's first response is to say, "No, thank you," which is reasonable, until he provides a terribly compelling argument to shit in tandem. They go in the stall right beside each other. Like, you just hold hands underneath the divider then.
Look, when he's like, "Hey, you want to go take a shit with me?"
Yeah,
I thought he had cocaine.
Oh.
I thought that he was offering him cocaine.
If he had touched his nose while he was like, shit.
Like
shitting.
This movie is a good, I don't know.
Go take a shit?
It's like 13, 14 years old now, right?
It's from 2000.
Yeah.
It's 23 years old.
Oh, shit. What? Are you sure?
He's lost a decade.
Fuck. It's 20 years is all it took from to go from like tandem shitting to doing just rails of nose boogers.
Yeah.
Sorry, nose beers. Boogers are just boogers. When they come out of your nose boogers are boogers.
I like that. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say nose beers. So that's cool.
Boy.
That's a new one for me.
It's what they're calling it now.
Did you happen to catch how he describes shitting to Alex?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
What does he say? Torquing a cable end?
Torquing a wicked cable. As opposed to a regular cable.
Oh, boy.
Every single one of Todd's shits is either an emergency or it's hard.
And he's got to torque it. Cut it off right at the, I don't know, midsection. Cut it off wherever.
Yeah, just cut it off, though. Don't just let it continue to flow. Good Lord.
Yeah, eventually you're going to unspool, and that's that.
Another indicator that this movie is from 2000. When we get on the plane, Todd wants to sit beside the hot six that he said hi to.
Mm-hmm.
So he refuses to switch seats because that hot six is with a hot 5.5, and they want to sit together. And then when Alex is asked the same question, and he goes, "Yeah, all right," you get to see Todd mouth the word fag at him. 2000 AD, you could still get away with that in a movie.
I did not catch that.
You know why I caught it? Because they subtitled it even though he said it quietly.
Oh no.
So I got to see and read it.
I watch with the subtitles off, thank God.
I need subtitles on almost all the time. It feels like my brain doesn't work.
Well, I mean,
otherwise.
There's at least 2 or 3 lines in this movie that were mumbled.
Yep.
I could not catch. The one was when they were shitting next to each other. And
John Denver's song. That guy died in a plane crash.
Yeah.
You'd think the songs by people who died in plane crashes or about people dying in plane crashes would be omitted from the iPod that they've connected to the airport terminal loudspeaker.
Nah, we're bumping John Denver.
We're bumping the one John Denver song about the thing that you're about to do and it going poorly.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know John Denver music, but everybody in this fucking movie loves John Denver.
Huge fan.
So yeah, they're shitting next to each other, and he's like, "Plane crash." Is all I heard. And then the other one is when he switches seats and he sits next to Todd, and he's like, "Titty fuck."
I think he said something to the tune of, "What did you think you were gonna titty fuck her over Greenland?" Specific country to titty fuck over.
Yeah.
Is that where it's the best to do so?
No, that's just mid-flight, you know?
Greenland, by the way, I just saw a realistic map is much smaller than it is on most maps. It's quite tiny.
Why would Greenland want to appear bigger?
So that people don't attack it, probably. It's like a cougar. You just make yourself large. You know?
Large and icy.
Ironically. On this flight, there's also just a man with palsy for no reason. And they pay attention to him in the movie. Like,
I paid attention to him in the movie.
They definitely have him in shots as a prominent figure in shots, even though his one line of dialogue is, I want to go home. Great.
That was, wow.
Oh, boy.
That was hauntingly accurate, Jay. Look at this, actual goosebumps. No, so here's my question. Here's my
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely got something. He's a severe.
It's like multiple sclerosis or some shit.
He's a severely handicapped individual.
That's accurate.
How'd
they get him in the seat?
So they come on the plane and they're like, yeah, the baby got to be pretty fucked up to take this down. Oh, this man. He'd be really fucked up to take this down. We're fine.
We're good. The more young and infirm the passengers are, the chances of it crashing, if God exists, are lowered.
So who's this lady sitting next to him?
His handler.
Are you sure?
No.
Because, like...
Either that or it's a woman taking advantage of a man.
Why isn't he seatbelted in? Like, she's just
Great question.
Like, she's not doing a very good job of her... Like, I noticed that...
Realistically, how much damage is turbulence going to do to him?
Well, he rattles around in his seat.
Yeah.
She has to hold him down while he's...
Given the curvature of his spine, it probably helped.
Oh, my God.
He doesn't need a seatbelt. He's already been in a crash.
Don't say that. She's just like grabbing him and holding him. Like, I feel like he's just on this plane and this is just somebody like just grabbing and holding on to him.
Like trying to be helpful?
Or trying their best. Like
using him as an anchor because that's what he is.
Like they're not doing anything.
No, I have no... You don't
around?
get to see her feed him or anything.
No, you just see they walk in and she's like touching his face.
She's probably going to take his wallet.
Probably seeing if he's like gonna do anything. Like,
exactly.
Hey,
do you mind if I just reach into your pocket real quick here? What do you got in there? Change?
Oh, jelly beans.
Mike and Ike's.
So yeah, you do see him. You do see him not do well during the plane crash.
So fucking Alex has this vision of the plane crashing that starts with him trying to pull down the tray table and the handle comes off, which that sucks.
Yep.
During this vision that he has, I don't know if you saw, but somebody gets brained with a fucking piece of luggage so good.
It's a boombox.
I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Like if somebody just threw it from off camera or something.
Who brings a boombox on a plane?
It's a fantastic question.
But, oh my God, yeah, somebody gets just decked with a rogue boombox.
Also, once the real turbulence hits and the plane starts to fall apart, they drop the oxygen masks. For those of you who've never been on a flight before, they're not... What they say is, in the event of a sudden change in cabin pressure, roof flies off. That doesn't happen. They're actually there to get you stoned as fuck on air so that you can calm the fuck down while we die.
Cool.
So enjoy that.
All right. I mean, whatever works.
Because straight oxygen really it calms you. So it's so that people don't panic.
I like it. No,
which is smart.
It is. Until the roof flies off.
Yeah, and everybody gets Terminator 2'd. That's what happens in his vision. It's exactly like Linda Hamilton grabbing onto the chain link fence at the beginning of that movie.
And just becoming bones?
Yes.
You see a wave of fire and just, bones. And the wave of fire starts at the very handicapped individual. He gets taken out first. And
it's unfortunate.
Well, yeah, it is unfortunate, but at the same time, do you really want to, see everybody get torched and then be torched yourself? I'd rather that, just be torched.
I understand.
I'd rather be the first one in line.
At the same time, even during a mild amount of turbulence, I go, okay, I'm dead. So you might as well give me a show. The only other option is Stuart Little, apparently, which nobody wants to watch.
It ain't that bad.
Stuart Little?
It ain't that
The
bad.
movie about parents who pick a rat over their own child?
It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad.
All right.
You telling me you wouldn't want a mouse little brother?
I would step on him by mistake.
Let's just go get another one. They're like
That's the nice
25
thing
cents.
about most of the time, they're bought as food for pets.
That would have been a very different movie
Yes,
if,
it would.
if that boy owned a snake and they were,
A snake or like an iguana.
oh, geez, thanks for taking me home, guys. Oh, no! Why are you putting me in the freezer?
Take me back to the orphanage.
No.
It's the only time a kid would want to be taken back to the orphanage.
So,
Yeah, the fucking Alex wakes up from his vision and he's like, we got to get the fuck off this plane. Now, this is how you know this movie is before 9/11. If somebody were to get up and say that now, guess what? End of plane. Everybody off the plane forever.
yeah.
And also, we're closing the airport.
We're gonna close the county. We're bringing in everybody.
Fucking. Also, like, to your point before about him holding up the pamphlet when he was asked if he had been handed anything by strangers, like, the beat that he took between being asked whether or not his luggage had been handled and his answer
boy.
is way too long.
Oh, he looks around the airport and yeah.
Way too long to answer that these days.
Nope,
You'd be
nope.
taken into the back and fingered right away.
Immediately you're swabbed for bomb juice.
Yeah. For bomb juice.
So I'd like to point out it is 2000, the year 2000,
That's right.
and we've got a plane full of students.
Yes.
39 students
That's a lot.
and one 25-year-old Sean William Scott.
He's that fucking old in 2000? Holy shit.
I'm pretty sure he was born in the 70s.
Oh my god, he's old. The only thing that I've seen Sean William Scott in not being Stifler is that Always Sunny episode
Yeah.
where he's just a gay biker.
That and Jackass when he's just Sean William Scott.
Yeah, where he's just a guy. Yeah. There's a guy standing in the background while other people get hurt.
Yeah, that was all a vision.
Yeah.
And immediately he's like, "Oh, holy moly!" And he jumps up and he yanks off.
Like soaked in sweat also.
Would you not be? That was a horrible vision.
It's horrible.
I'd
but,
be
like,
soaked in piss and shit.
My point being more so, it wouldn't be an argument. Like, oh, I'm coming with you. Clearly you know something I don't, and that's why you're a waterfall right now.
Like, what about those girls who were just like asking him to hey, hey, excuse me, you want to change? Can we change the? Hey, and he's just like shitting.
I'm sorry,
and
I'm
pissing,
having a night terror. Like, fuck's sake.
just sweating profusely. Excuse me, come on.
Yeah, please.
So yeah,
I'm still trying to be hot press my tits together so you do what I want.
when he pulls off the knob and he realizes everything might be real, he gets real upset.
He does.
We get the flight attendant's like, "What's your problem, sir?" Then you get the jock, "What's your fucking problem?"
Well, first of all, let me answer both questions at once. The plane's gonna explode.
Oh yeah, I think
It's a pretty big problem for me right now.
like 3 or 4 people ask him what the fuck his problem is.
Does it matter? Just follow me. Like,
He said it was going to explode. That is a problem.
yeah, it's everyone's actually.
To this, the jock gets up and punches him in the chest because he's probably better at security than security, I guess. He just steps right in there and takes control by punching him in the chest.
Not to mention, like, you got like 3 flight attendants, the pilot, and a fire marshal on that plane, and nobody prevents Carter from getting up and assaulting a man. They just watch that happen.
Yep.
They're all in one aisle. It's like, yeah, I guess he deserves to be hit. Look at the stir he's causing.
I think they kind of wanted it to happen.
Fuck.
So this whole film is just Carter coming up with reasons to punch Alex in the
Or Billy. Either. Just punch someone.
You know what? This whole movie is him trying to come up with reasons to just beat up everybody who's not himself.
100%. Like, for example, he gets taken off the flight after that punch, reasonably, and a few people, our main cast, follow them off. And then he gets into a fight again with Alex over 90 minutes. A 90-minute wait. Because when I was paying attention to the one teacher, Miss Luton, say that the next flight was at 11:10. This one's at 9:45.
And how did she know?
I assume she has an itinerary. Regardless, an hour and a half, and Carter apparently can't do math, which is why he plays football, because he seems to think that's going to make them miss half a day in Paris. 90 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Oh, gee. I've had to wait at an airport for 7 hours before. Trust me, 90 minutes ain't that bad. Go to the bar.
Oh, I would beg for 90 minutes. Give me 90 minutes. Come on.
Give me 90. That's 2 more drinks in me.
They fight, and I think Alex says something to the tune of, "You should have been on that fucking plane, you fuck."
Yeah, something like that. Probably fewer swear words at the time, but they were warranted because he's a dick all movie anyway. Right then, the plane explodes, though.
Pretty much, yeah. You get Sean William Scott watching the plane back out, and by the way, this plane is scuffed.
Yeah,
it's hit a few geese in its time.
A lot of exterior damage on the old plane there from hawks.
They don't try and hide that shit at all.
No,
they're just like, here's your fucking plane, you idiot.
When Alex is getting on, he looks down between the boarding hallway and the airplane itself, and the gap is it's a little too wide.
Oh my!
That thing seals right shut when you get on a plane.
It should. It should.
Yeah.
You definitely shouldn't be able to see stories down to the ground below you.
That's
where people look like ants.
That's how you get your shoes caught, like like an escalator that's malfunctioning.
Oh yeah, that's how you bust an ankle. And so they're fighting, and Sean's like, "Oh, there they go, and here we stay."
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
There they go, indeed. Right to hell.
Right to fucking all over town. Fucking
all over town and the ocean.
Thank God it exploded over the lake.
And let me tell you, at that point, I look at everyone dead in the face and I go, "Told you so."
Oh, yeah, the fact that he didn't.
He missed
that was his one opportunity.
In his entire life, he's never going to have a better moment to say, "I told you so" to a group of people.
Oh, I would have stood up. I would have been like,
yes!
I told all of you so.
Every single one of you. And I even told dead people so.
And then I tipped my hat, and immediately I'm arrested. Just boom, thrown in jail.
That's basically what they get interrogated, not arrested. But
yeah.
Also, the FBI response time, let me tell you, on the clock, and nothing happens during the interrogation scene, really.
Not really.
It's just people talking about the damage that they're irreparably going to have from this traumatic event. But there's a clock in the back, and it's 10:15 p.m. Flight was at 9:45. They got there in 20 minutes.
Damn.
That's fast.
Well, when a plane explodes.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like the FBI just keeps people around in a lot of major towns, maybe?
Yeah, now.
9/11 changed everything.
It did. You're going to notice an influx in FBI agents.
Yeah, the FBI, they waste no time because the manager of the airport comes in and is like, "Does anybody need spiritual counseling or to talk to anybody?" And they're just like, "Listen, who the fuck did this? We're going to ask you all questions." And by worst agents ever. Because,
bad. You got Poindexter and his golem apprentice.
Yeah, they're like, we just want to ask some questions for our investigation to see if there's any criminal investigation to be done. And they just look right at Alex.
Stare right at fucking Alex with his big mouth.
Criminal investigation.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of the glasses detective, but I do know that the one who behaves like an ogre for most of the movie is indeed named Shrek.
Oh.
His last name is Shrek.
No, in this movie. I thought I did hear that, but I was hoping that I just didn't hear that.
We got Dr. Frankenstein and his abomination he's created for detective agents.
I wouldn't describe them like that, but you're pretty accurate.
The dude's brow line. You could land the plane instead of crashing it on it.
You could probably build a nice home for the summer on that shit.
Yup.
Nice cliffside. So the teacher is upset, rightfully so, because she told the French guy to get back on the plane when she could have herself.
Well, he's the one who knew the French stuff.
Oh, yeah. Fucking send her with all those students. The first French person who comes up, I don't know.
She says, "I don't know," in a French accent.
I do not know.
Yeah. You understand that, right?
Je tu irai. I don't know.
Amazing. All I know is that bathroom is toilette. That's the most important thing to know in any language.
Toilette.
In Spanish, donde esté el baño? Because no matter where you are, you're going to need to know where a bathroom is eventually.
I just pull my pants down and go,
Where?
if you don't show me, it's going to be your problem.
Either you show me where there's a bathroom already, or I'm creating one right here. Hey, thanks for saving my life, said nobody.
Not a single person. In fact, they look at him like he's a witch.
Yeah, and
So
basically
much so.
accuse him. Yeah.
Yeah, the book girl's like, hey, look, he's not a witch. Nobody said witch. Not one person said witch.
No, you just jump right to that.
But
All right.
the teacher was like, were there any survivors like he's psychic?
Yeah. Also, like, we were all in the terminal and we watched that happen. No. I don't need to be a medium to answer that question for you.
Ask anybody below that explosion. Did anybody rain down and still be alive?
Yeah. Did they surface?
Were any of the bodies in the seats still moving? No? They're roasted, huh?
It's probably pretty safe to assume, all right?
Did anybody not smell like a nice New York barbecue?
Like a
'Cause we're
fucking
in-
flambéed sirloin.
We're in Long Island. That's the nice part of New York.
Is it?
It is.
I didn't know there was one. Roasted. Yeah.
Hey, just like, I don't
I'm
know,
walking in.
32 other students.
Nobody with a New York accent in this whole fucking class of students.
Nope.
Wait, are they all exchange? Maybe they all know French already. They're from there.
You know, I think that, like the Long Island medium, she's got a fucking wicked accent of some kind.
No, okay, here's the thing, right? Like, in order to get invited on the field trip for the class at the end of the year, you got to make grades. The only person who knows French in this entire class is Clear.
Yeah. She translates this fucking babbling French
the dumb
idiot.
airport announcement, and nobody else. Like, half the students are like, fuck French.
Oh yeah, we're going to Paris. Fuck this dumb
Right?
language that doesn't make any sense unless you've learned it.
If I was learning French all the way up to 12th grade and then I went to Paris, if I had any reservations about not wanting to have that language in my brain, being in Paris would probably tip that scale for me. Oh, this is what it's like? It sucks. Let me just promptly forget this language forever. I'll learn German instead. At least it's got some utility.
You know, it does.
Everything that you say in German sounds like you're angry. It's really easy to get a point across.
And you know, to that note, Todd,
Yeah,
his name is spelt with one D.
that's dumb.
That's German for death.
Oh, well, good. He's the one. He's the Grim Reaper the whole time.
Well, he's not a very good one.
Family reunion at the airport, except for Clear, whose parents suck.
Yeah, you get everybody and not only do they suck, half of them are dead.
Not all.
Half.
Yeah.
Which means the one that is alive really sucks.
Yeah.
So, Stifler's mom isn't a MILF, and that's just the way it is in this film. I don't understand, but...
I was not paying attention to the parents at all because I knew how little of a role they played already.
Well-
The only ones that you get to see a second time are basically Todd's parents so that they can sob when he dies later, and then Alex's parents so that they can do all of nothing to be supportive to their son who just has PTSD forever.
Well, they try. Like, his dad is like, hey, man, you want to talk? And he's like, I'm just figuring some stuff out, man.
Yeah, that sounds
I
like
just
you're going
got
to commit
some shit.
suicide soon.
Well, he tried. He asked. He asked if he wanted to.
Fair enough, he did ask.
So, yeah, they end up driving Claire home because she didn't got a family. And
So-
she has a gravel driveway.
Yeah. Where's Child Services in this movie? She's 17. She just lives by herself in a house. How does she pay for that?
I also was
Certainly not by
wondering-
art welding, because nobody's buying these horrible sculptures. They fucking litter her driveway and garage like refuse, like a hoarder's garage.
How is a 17-year-old just welding and not burning the house down?
Yeah, that's a great question. You
Where
only get
is-
like 2 welding courses in all of high school that you can take. And then also she has a cabin. How is none of this foreclosed on due to lack of payment?
You really gotta wonder, but not too hard now. You might ruin the film for yourself.
Incompetent FBI agents let a minor live by themselves instead of calling somebody.
So as Alex comes home, and there's like a shot through the window where it's kind of rainy, and his parents kind of bring him into his bedroom.
Yeah.
And you can, like, if you look at the dad's face,
Yeah.
you can tell he's a little pissed that his luggage got exploded. It's like, that was a good bag.
It's really cool. Like, I'm really happy that you lived, but like,
Hey,
I had to mail away for that.
I have that trip coming up.
And now I have to go buy another brief. Like,
they don't make them anymore. I gotta go to Bentley.
Where even is that anymore?
Exactly. So yeah, that's just something that.
Yeah. You know, really good parents letting their traumatized son just watch news coverage of the disaster.
Right.
Where he didn't save everyone, giving him survivor's guilt. And then, yeah, you're good, right? We're just going to take a nap on the couch.
Oh, yeah, let's just pass out right here.
While his head recedes into his neck like a turtle while he's watching this fucking news coverage. Oh, my God. It's like the least flattering way to sit in a chair.
There's no good way to sit in a chair. Like, you start off good, but then the less people are watching, the more you crumple into yourself.
Yeah, anytime you sit in a comfortable chair, you slowly congeal into a blob.
Fun fact, this news footage is real news footage of a plane crash.
Oh, that's great. We'll just have that.
Yep.
Well, what fucking movie was it where at the beginning, it's The Purge, where it's just, there's a decent chance you're witnessing an actual real murder?
Hey, Purge. Woo!
Yeah, man. Purge.
So yeah, the news report is the blah, 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 and then she says the plane exploded, and then lightning cracks, and that started some...
CGI lightning also when he looks outside.
Yeah, he goes outside, he looks out his fucking window, and sees lightning hit right in front of his house and tells no one. He doesn't bring that up once.
Hey, man, I just saw a once-in-a-lifetime event twice in one day.
Motherfucker. Play the lottery.
Yeah, dude. Pick your numbers.
Oh, man. The next day I'd be at that memorial being like, guys, lightning.
Now's the time, dude.
I saw that shit.
Powerball.
You know it comes up from the ground?
It comes up from the ground and the sky meets it in the middle.
And then people are like, we're sad. We're trying to mourn the family.
They picked the worst acoustic guitarist to have for this memorial, and he plays the dumbest fucking song.
I bet you it's a John Denver song.
It probably is.
I don't know John Denver songs, but I assume...
it might as well be, right?
They pepper that motherfucker in the whole film.
They chose a theme. They're going to go with it as much as humanly possible.
Oh, yeah, and as you should.
Yep.
The FBI is just at this memorial.
Yeah. Well, it's like the only place that they would really blend in because everybody's wearing a suit and tie. But they don't even sit down. They just stand up like, yes, we're not FBI agents.
I'm getting, hold on a second. Yes, mourning, sadness. Mm-hmm. I'm touching my ear like there's a walkie-talkie there.
That's right.
Yeah. I got a 10, I got eyes on the sadness.
And then also, like, they're the worst. These FBI agents have been tasked with supervising a child because they're too incompetent to be undercover. Even though they're trying to be a little bit covert, they keep making eye contact with people just long enough for them to notice and then look away.
I think that's a big part about being in the FBI.
Making eye contact until people notice you are?
Yeah.
And then looking away suspiciously?
Yeah, I feel like they do that a lot in films.
That's true.
A lot of agents just backs against the wall, just looking at you, and
then if they don't look away and they keep staring, you know they're crooked.
Ooh.
That's the tell.
Yeah, shit. You're about to get extorted for something.
Todd foreshadows his own demise. I don't remember how, though. Because so the fucking teacher who doesn't want anything to do with Alex anymore because she's apparently superstitious, gives him this essay to read in front of everyone at this memorial of a bird, which is a little bit disrespectful given that people died in flight.
A little bit.
And during the memorial, basically it's his speech is, death could happen literally any time. It could happen tonight.
Yep.
Whoops, Todd, if you had said it could happen in 3 months, you would have given yourself a little bit more time, probably.
Yeah, he's like, it could happen this afternoon.
Yeah.
You're really cutting it real close there, Todd. Really shortening your life by minutes.
There are 2 deaths in this movie. Todd's is the most incomprehensible, and Miss Luton's is the silliest.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you that.
This one makes the least fucking sense, though.
While they're in line to pay their respects, the jock is like, I hope you don't think because my name ain't up on this wall that I owe you something.
I know, but acknowledge the fact that I saved you from dying just then.
Right? And he's like, nah, the only thing I owe is my life to these people to live it to the fullest.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't do.
No, he doesn't.
And then
He's drunk.
yeah,
He's drunk right now.
Alex is like, well, why don't you lay off the JD?
Ooh.
And you know what?
Burn.
He doesn't take well to being told what maybe to do.
Nobody tells me what to. I was making a suggestion.
Yeah, and then
Looking out for your health.
and then he fucks himself by saying, I control my life. I'm not gonna die.
Ever.
Why would you ever say that?
He goes, I'm gonna live forever.
I'm gonna live forever.
Which, I mean,
famous
that's
last words.
death or not, false.
That's what you say as soon as you fucking...
What are you, a genie?
You skull a 40 of Jack and get behind the wheel is what happens.
And then fucking Stifler comes up and asks about when he's gonna die, and fucking Alex doles out the worst advice, which is not ever. That's just a lie.
Oh my God.
You're just lying to a guy that doesn't have the mental capacity to know that you're lying to him.
Stifler's, he doesn't understand
anything.
He's just trying his best.
Yeah.
But, well, hey, I think I think I get it. You can see the future, right? Well,
No. I'm so bad at seeing the future that even when I do see it, I can't change anything. I do a really bad job of interpreting my ability to see the future in this movie.
It's a very specific future I see, and it's only death.
It's the best future to see. Technically, we all see the future then.
Get out of here with your deep thoughts.
You know?
So that's yeah, Todd gives his speech.
Yeah. Cut right to a scene of Todd shitting.
Wait, before that.
Okay.
The book girl. She
Yeah.
has the one appropriate response the entire film.
You saved my life, thank you.
Yeah.
And then leaves. Good. Now we're square.
That's that.
That's fine. You're welcome.
That concludes all of the talking we ever had to do in high school to each other. Goodbye forever.
Going woefully. Also, by the way, I've had a secret crush on you for 4 years. And also, I make art about you. And I'm going to tell you about it without actually telling you about it because I'm an artist and everything is interpretive. I hate the way that she describes that fucking art piece. Every high school student describes the art piece the same way, which is, I'm going to thinly veil the fact that I made this up at 3 a.m. the night before with the help of Adderall. So just a bunch of bullshit in a sentence.
Adderall is artist's little helper. So yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
Cut right to fucking Todd shitting.
Yep, just shitting.
So look,
He doesn't notice the leaky fucking angle stop on the toilet, despite that drip being the loudest thing in the house.
but there's something more important that I think he needs to notice before he notices that.
What's that?
So as he sits down to shit, you'll notice that probably to avoid showing his ass cheeks, he is got his shirt tucked right up underneath him.
Oh, whoops. And it's white, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it's a light-colored shirt, at
So
least.
I don't know what his plan is, but it ends in laundry. It ends in shit on a t-shirt and laundry.
He's out of toilet paper. He's cutting out the middleman.
Just
Blech.
it comes pre-wiped.
Oh, my God.
So yeah.
Once you get to a certain age, you know to check to make sure you're not sitting on your own shirt.
Yeah, the age of 3.
I don't know if 3-year-olds would care.
You're probably right.
So Todd needs a plumber.
Now, what part of the toilet are we dealing with here?
This is a weird part of the movie for me because the whole point is that Death has control over water in this scene. And he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it.
Well, he's deaf. I think he can do whatever the fuck he wants with anything.
That's true, which is going to come up later on when it comes to the intricacy in which he's killing people because it's so fucking unnecessary. So we establish now, at this point, that Death has control over the elements. All right, later on with wind and fire and electrical cables, as it turns out.
What about heart?
So Death's decision here is to cause a slow drip on the shutoff to the toilet instead of just literally anything else. So, like, really dragging it out. And then he goes, well, this isn't happening fast enough. So he makes the toilet leak from the base with a somehow infinite amount of water, even though that's not how that works.
If you look real close, that tap thing is just like, at some point, it's just like pissing water out as well.
So,
Like, he just not enough water.
Find the sweet spot. A lot of these shutoffs, once the rubber gaskets inside start to go, you can find a sweet spot where it won't drip anymore without actually having to replace it. plumbing secrets.
Well,
That's all I know.
You were probably shouting that at the monitor.
I was.
Todd, the shut up.
I was.
Find the sweet spot. And then he's not listening because he's busy shaving and trimming his fucking nose hairs while this water creeps.
And like, yeah,
ever
you don't
so
notice
closely.
the water snaking along the tile like it's flooding the whole fucking bathroom. How do you not turn around? He dropped the scissors on the tape. Like, you would see that.
You would hear the water hitting the floor.
Yup.
But no, he just continues on.
While this is happening, we're cutting back and forth to Alex in his room, looking at a picture that was taken of Claire at the memorial in mourning, and then going, well, I gotta beat off.
Yeah.
I gotta beat right off. I
So-
saw the picture of this sad girl with the flower. Fuck, let me get out the porno mag.
So what I got from that was because like the breeze blows, it flutters the paper.
Yeah.
And so I think I was like, oh, Death is represented by the breeze, and he's trying to get his attention. So he looks at this fucking newspaper and sees a sad picture of Claire, and then he gets this look on his face like he's exhausted with himself. He's like, here we go again.
Oh, jeez.
Turns to his left and like moves one pair of pants in a drawer to reveal a penthouse.
Yeah, hide it better if you're trying to hide it.
Yeah.
Your mom's putting your laundry away, just,
I don't even think he looked. I don't think his eyes left. He just knew where it was instinctively. He just hot swapped from the newspaper to the porno.
Then he gets fed up with it, and he chucks it into the fan, and it spits Todd's name at him.
Oh, no, an owl lands on his windowsill.
Yeah, who's fucking owl, also? That would interrupt my session as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I would be pretty upset if an owl was watching me, too. That's horrifying. But why would you try and spook it away with a magazine? Why are you throwing your porno at the owl? It was PETA on set. Was PETA on set.
Scaring an animal's, yeah, somebody's going to write a letter.
Those tits were too close to that owl.
That's unbelievable.
I didn't like
think it was
it.
Pamela Anderson, actually, as well. I'm fairly certain anyway. I don't know. I see a blonde chick with her tits out around 2000. I assume it's Pamela Anderson.
I don't know. I don't know.
So the reason why Todd's death is the fucking silliest is because, number one, who has a taut wire clothesline at head height on their shower? On the wall of their shower. So you draw the curtain back and you can barely see it because it's the thickness of a fishing line, and then you just walk into that and blind yourself?
I'll tell you who. People who aren't paying for their dryer to run for pantyhose.
Oh my god.
Actually, I don't think you can dry. I think pantyhose just disintegrate once you start cleaning them, don't they?
I have never seen anybody dry anything else other than a towel in the bathroom.
You know what? Honestly, why is Todd touching his mother's hosieries anyway?
Such a good question.
He starts tending to the hosieries on the. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you do that with like a pair of tweezers so that you can get them out of the way far enough to step into the tub.
I don't know what his plan was, but so he's at the sink,
Yeah.
and then he turns to go to the bathroom, and the water like turns, just hard turn, slowly creeping up on him as he's doing these hosieries, and then I don't know, it like just nudges his foot, and he slips.
He eats shit like fucking like an Abbott and Costello skit, like some Three Stooges shit.
He slipped like somebody yanked his feet out from underneath him, and all it was just some toilet water on a tile floor.
And then this clothesline dislodges from one wall and then wraps itself inexplicably around his neck and then somehow supports human weight. Suddenly, even though it couldn't enough to stay intact.
Yeah, it's got like the momentum that like wraps it around, and I think it even does like a little thing where it like loops around itself and ties off.
Which is fine. Clearly, Todd and Alex have the same beat-off schedule because he's just got lotion about. and the lid is off, so it's a session. We're going for rounds on this.
I think he falls into the tub and the shampoo bottle busts into.
All right.
Anyway,
this whole thing that because of him grabbing onto it when he slipped broke. Now suddenly it's sturdy as fuck.
Oh boy,
you could climb a mountain with this fucking clothesline.
One anchor was deep in the wall.
Yeah.
The other one was just a mere suction cup.
Horrible parenting on the. First of all, okay, so Todd's fucking scrambling around. Super, like, if your cat falls off of like a chest of drawers, you're gonna hear that shit a mile away, right?
Oh yeah, I hear my cat scamper around one floor up.
So You're telling me that even though Dad's asleep, Mom doesn't hear Todd scrambling for his life against porcelain?
Just kicking the tub. I don't.
I would be slamming my foot against that thing.
Have you ever heard anybody fall in a tub? It's loud.
It is.
Anybody who falls in the shower has made a sound that.
Do people call the police about?
Yeah, and if they don't, it's because they hate you. And they're like, good. Glad. I didn't hear shit.
So fucking, he sees the scissors so that he can try and cut the, I can guarantee you it's made of some kind of fucking polymer alloy that you're not going to be able to cut because that's the only way it's strong enough to hold you up while it chokes you to death. Doesn't think to Tarzan swing using the fucking force of his own neck over to the counter so that he can grab the scissors. He just reaches for 10 seconds and then gives up. Well, I guess I'm dead.
How wide is this bathroom? Because it seemed a lot wider than it was, but he got his arms stretched all the way across the
and he's leaning. It's it's luxurious. Everybody in this movie's rich. That's the only way that it explains how Clear has a house and a cabin to herself. Fucking, we can all afford this luxurious fucking Parisian vacation.
It's a Long Island. That's just the way it is there.
Yeah, they got 8 by 6 foot bathrooms.
But like, it seems like the bathroom shrinks in sizes when he starts reaching for the scissors.
Oh, because he gets real close?
Oh yeah, He gets way closer because I was
it was
watching
probably like 2 or 3 steps over to the bathtub, wasn't it?
Yeah,
from the counter.
But it's just an arm's reach from the bathtub.
I'm 3 inches away from those scissors.
You know, had Todd, like, I understand you're being hung, but take a second, man. Take 1 fucking second to stop panicking.
Just hold your horses, all right?
I know.
We can get out of this together.
It's shampoo.
Dude, lift your leg up over the rim of the tub and step on the dry floor.
Yeah, use your arms to hold yourself up.
Yeah, the arms that haven't touched shampoo at all.
Those are the ones.
Those perfectly fine arms that can still support you easily.
Same arms. But no, he
just reach and claw for the thing that's around your neck and impossible to dislodge.
Yeah, he just hangs there and lets his eyeballs fill with blood.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, amazing. Loved it.
Extremely difficult to get that result in real life. I'm not speaking from experience.
Jesus. I'm glad.
I read a thing once about this movie where they said like it's not something that happens naturally unless you're being like force choked by Darth Vader.
Well, I mean, it does tighten on its own when he's like,
yeah, it does.
So, I mean, death is probably,
he's working on it.
Yeah.
He's working that neck. Which is a blowjob euphemism.
Death works the neck.
So he fucking dies in the tub, and it
sure does.
The death makes it look like a suicide for some reason, and the water recedes back into the base of the toilet. So plumbing problem solved. Turns out it only cost a life.
It turns out you're useless.
Yeah,
because plumbing can fix itself.
Yeah. Once it gets, once the mission is complete, no more leaks.
No more.
Johnson & Johnson, no more leaks.
I think there were no more tears, but
there
was tears.
Well, that's the plumbing branch of Johnson & Johnson.
Johnson & Johnson, tight pipes.
I don't like that. I don't like that slogan for a company named after 2 men.
So back at Alex's, he's got this little shard of paper that says Todd in his lap, and he fucking puts 2 and 2 together.
Immediately becomes soft.
And, I mean, he runs over to Todd's place, which must not be very far away, because everybody's there already.
Also, he's not out of breath.
Not out of breath. I mean, he's clearly jogged before.
Todd must live down the street.
I don't know.
And we got fucking, Clear lurking around like she's the one who killed him.
She's the least conspicuous person.
Holy fuck.
Like, the FBI is there, and she's like...
I'm like, you could see like her clearly because there are headlights on her.
I'm hanging out from behind this tree all the way. She might as well have sparklers like,
they won't see me this way.
2 road flares. Alex.
I'm trying to reach Alex, the suspect.
Come over here and away from the police.
Really good time for Alex to be like, hey, just so you know, your son told me that you were the problem and why he was so depressed. Right as Todd's getting fucking loaded into the back of a meat wagon in front of him.
Yeah, his dad, so at the memorial, they have a little thing where there's like, we'll hang out right now my
Yeah.
dad's upset.
Yeah, we can't hang out right now. He doesn't understand.
What's his dad upset about? That one of his sons didn't die?
Yeah, important to note that on the plane was Todd and his older brother.
His
who
older brother
did die.
His older brother told him to get off the plane and
Yeah.
go check on Alex. For what reason? He can't get back on the plane, and we know this.
Yeah.
It was said right on the airplane, get off. You can't come back on.
Yeah, the guy, when Luton's talking to the guy, he's like, you got to understand my position. What position is that? Endangering children by only allowing one chaperone to accompany them to Paris? Or just unilaterally making decisions about who's allowed to go on and off just cuz? As like some exertion of power.
Hey, you work at the airport. You're in control.
Fucking Stifler didn't even get on the goddamn... He was late. He just happened to be in the aisle while people were getting muscled off. Like, isn't that a good enough reason to let the kid back on?
I don't think it was that. I think he was in the he came out of the bathroom as the scuffle was happening.
Yeah,
and he got caught up in it like a tornado fight. It just like sucking people in,
like the Tasmanian devil when he's arguing.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
So
rub Todd's dad's shitty parenting right in his face. Right in front of the corpse of his other son who's now dead.
You know, I saved one of your sons. Is that not good enough?
Apparently not. No, you should have saved them both.
Yeah, you fucking witch boy.
Claire points to the thing and base. Oh yeah. That's afterward.
Todd's dad is like, didn't you see him kill himself? Like he could see everybody's death. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah.
Also, here's the thing that I don't understand. Alex must be phobic of telephones, because even though calling somebody, and it's not the first time or only time it happens in the movie, to warn them that they might die right now, that's just not an option. That somehow jogging is faster than placing a phone call.
Yeah. Have you checked your boy?
Like when a stranger calls? Have you checked the children?
What else is... Oh, right. So, yeah, and his dad is like, yeah, he hung himself because of the survivor's guilt.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Are you sure about that? He's got a pair of scissors right in there, and he picked a more painful way to die? Hanging himself by your clothesline?
Are we not going to do a lick of investigation?
No, we're just going to assume.
Well, the dad says, so that's good enough for me. I'm the police.
Yeah, as it turns out, a funeral director is a better detective than the detectives.
Not one person thought to look at the body. They just walked
look
in.
Right at it.
Oh, corpse. Oh, get this in a bag. I don't want to look at this shit.
What are all these scratch marks on his neck? Oh, well, he was just really, really interested in hanging himself.
He
tightened it himself.
He's been thinking about it a lot. Those are corpse marks.
Corpse marks.
So the next day, Alex visits Claire at her broken home.
Her shop. Yeah, also, her broken home. Fuck yeah. Right away, take a look at this sculpture. This is how wet you make me. Oh, I remember that plane crash?
More or less. That's what she says.
Claire's a really good conversationalist.
Yeah, she like brings him into her house to like hit on him weirdly, being like, look at this fucking sculpture. It's how you make me feel. And it's a chunk of metal on a spring on a chunk of metal.
Yeah.
And
with holes in it.
And I guess from that he's to have sex with her.
Yeah. That's the most romantic. That's like a bouquet of orchids. Anyway, he's like, sorry, which is hilarious.
Instead of, when are your parents coming home?
When are your parents coming home? You seem a little bit psychologically unhinged. Do you need help?
Oh, no. See, I was thinking like, hey, when are your parents coming home? Is there time?
Oh.
Clearly.
Turns out we have all day. And the next. And all the days after that.
She might have a 5-minute phone call where her mom calls
just
to
her
be
mom.
like, hey, I'm not coming home.
Yeah. Just in case you forgot, I'm still not coming home.
Figure it out. I'm not coming home. But no, yeah. So there's a weird moment also where she's like, okay, hold on. I think I wrote it down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's accurate or not, but what she says is, she says that she felt what he felt, and she can still feel what is with him since he left the plane, and that's why she was there at Todd's house.
Yeah. That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
This chick's fucked.
I tried to write it down as she was saying it because I didn't want to hit pause. So it made about as much sense as I thought it did when I read it out loud.
No, that I glazed right over that piece of dialogue because I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, bitch?
Yeah, there was really no reason for her to be at that house because she was there for all of a second to go, hey, psst, I'm here.
Dude, I had a funny feeling at home.
Hey, you want to see a dead body?
Anyway, fucking, yeah, if that were me, I'd be like, awesome. Just so you know, like, and it's good that Alex doesn't continue this line of conversation because it would end with, well, I was just about to torque some wicked cable myself last night to you. To the picture of you in mourning, as a matter of fact. So I guess we're on the same page romantically.
You're so fucking hot when you're sad. Oh my god, I wish I could just kill a whole fucking class of students every day.
Right in front of you, too. This is going to be a great relationship. Also, at some point, they just enter into a relationship and it's never discussed. You know how I know? She starts calling him babe for no reason.
I noticed that too, and I chose to ignore it.
When the fuck did we become official? Because I missed that Facebook update.
Yeah, maybe you should ask some questions, I guess.
Instead of just, our interactions have been increasing. We must be together. That's the kind of thing a stalker does.
That is
right before they kill you.
That is a psychopathic move.
It sure is.
If I've ever heard one.
If I call you babe long enough, eventually you're just gonna settle into it and be like, all right, I guess.
You better bring a drill and some screws because she's unhinged. You gotta rehinge that shit.
There's nothing plum about her.
Fuck.
Alex says, I want to see Todd again, and she goes, well, let's go break into the funeral home.
Yeah, they somehow come to the conclusion that there's something way bigger than what's happening at hand here, and they gotta go see a dead body.
Let's go do more investigating than the Federal Bureau of Investigation has done so far.
Hey, let's break and enter a building where obviously there's a car out front.
Here's my thing, right? So obviously there's a car out front. That's good. So someone's inside. Tony Todd, this is when we are introduced to Tony Todd's cameo. I'm just going to call it that.
Tony Todd.
Because his name in the movie is like Mr. Bumford or some shit like that.
Not a good name. Not a good name.
Anyway, he's so like unsurprised by the fact that there are two strangers that have just broken into his place of business. Was he expecting them? Also, couldn't you have just used the door instead of climbing in through the stained glass fucking skylight? And then desecrating a coffin by standing on it with your shoes.
These are a lot of good questions. I got a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
So, yeah, they shimmy down and they climb in through the roof. Very low roof.
Yeah, super low.
Very low roof.
You could basically, it's like an 8-inch drop if you're dangling from your hands into a coffin from the roof. This is a mobile home. This is a mobile funeral home.
After that, you don't see them explore around, but they managed to fashion some kind of door unlocking device.
I think, so there's like a throwaway line about that implies that Clear breaks into places all the time.
Okay.
She's like, it gives me a rush doing something I'm nuts. So she probably just has lockpicks.
Well, it's not even a lock. It's like
she probably welded one.
It's like a weird hook that goes in through the door, and they turn it up so it can hit the door handle.
Dude, she's just in there like manufacturing breaking and entering devices.
So, all right, here's where my questions come into play. So they do that.
Yep.
Was that door locked? Could you have just turned the door handle?
It really seems like just a handle latch.
Yeah.
No lock involved.
So they go in there and there's Todd.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, well, he doesn't. Is that really Todd? It doesn't look like Todd. It's everything that's made Todd. Todd is no longer there.
It's like his life.
And then
his life force.
And then she's like, well, why did they make him up to look like Michael Jackson?
Ooh,
not. Now,
he was still alive now.
As
in 2000.
Yeah. Ew. That's
also, he was deep in vitiligo, so that's just the most disrespectful thing to say about a man who's living and can see it.
That's disrespectful. So.
What are you trying to say? Michael Jackson looks like he's a corpse?
Well, he does now. He's got corpse-like qualities, I'm sure.
Fuck.
Okay, here's where my questions come in. Okay, so they come in and they see Todd, and Todd twitches. That startles them.
Yeah. At this point, one Todd is not enough for the scene. We need two.
Why is there a cave in this morgue? What was the mortician doing in the cave?
I didn't even put together that he came out of like a crevice.
And how didn't they see that he was in this weird cave?
Holy shit. Yeah, it's like fucking same like when they in Scooby-Doo when they fucking pull a sconce and it turns the stairs into a slide.
Yeah,
and he just comes up that.
It's like perfect brick wall and then behind it is like a cave.
Yeah. Fuck.
What was he doing? What's back there? Why is it purposed? What's going on here? Nobody's gonna be like, what do you got going back there? Fucking Dr. Morg in the night? What are you doing with your raspy ass voice? Is that where you get your Frankenstein? You fuck?
Dr. Morg in the night. He's probably doing meth down there.
Meth and
yeah.
just cobbling together a Frankenstein out of meth.
That's where he keeps the bodies that nobody claims. Like nobody comes to the funeral. He's like, oh, I guess I don't have to cremate this one.
This arm looks perfect for my specimen.
A friend. Tony Todd looks like the kind of person who would keep bodies around as friends.
Oh, he sounds with his raspy voice.
With his raspy voice and his sinister stare at all times. He would stare at a baby with that look, and the baby would get the soul sucked out of him.
Oh, the baby wouldn't stand a chance.
Tony Todd looks like he actually just is Candyman. Instead of just playing him.
He is Candyman, though, right?
He looks like he in real life is Candyman.
But he is.
Yes.
Okay, because I recognized him. I was like, I don't want to be racist, but is that Candyman?
It is.
It's all right.
Not every squinty black man is Candyman. One happens to be.
And, you know, if any man was going to be the Candyman,
it would be that ashen fucking, he's timeless.
He honestly... You know how in Ace Ventura, the very first one, he goes to his apartment and his landlord comes up behind him and he's like, Ace!
Yeah.
He's like, yes, Satan!
Yeah.
That's how I would respond if this guy snuck up on me.
Every single time.
Yes, Satan?
Even if he didn't. If I just saw him in a room. Hey, Satan!
He would be a good Satan. So yeah, they're like, well, why did they make him up to look like Michael Jackson? The man who did that's right in this fucking room. How disrespectful.
That's him doing his best to prepare people to be able to look at him and cry.
He had to... It was a goddamn dead body when he came in here.
It was a strangled as fuck dead body.
Look, I put life in those cheeks.
Yeah, I stopped it from looking like it's bugging out everywhere.
So,
you know how hard it is to fit a swollen tongue back into a throat?
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like, but I gotta imagine it's probably the opposite of putting a tight sock on.
Oh, shit. At no point does Tony Todd go, why are you in here?
No.
He's just like, you're in here. I saw you on the news and I know your first name, so it's cool.
Oh, see, I just kind of figured Tony Todd with...
Well, he's the Harbinger.
Well, he's the Harbinger. He's got that raspy voice. He really seems like the kind of guy who is really okay with showing teens dead bodies.
Yeah, he is.
And he's probably just thrilled that he didn't have to go and find teens down at 7-Eleven to be like, hey, you kids
want to see one?
You want to see a dead body? Come with me. Oh, the kids are coming to me. And you see the dead body.
I don't need to like play a flute to bring him in or anything into my damp dark cave.
There's no luring. They're pre-lured.
So you're telling me that I get all of the enjoyment of being able to tell teenagers about death and dying without the hassle of enticing them?
Without the hassle of parental supervision?
My bank account is going to be flush with cash now that I don't have to buy candy anymore.
You mean you broke into the place where I take teens? Oh, boy.
Cutting out the middleman.
Really got my hand in the honey pot here.
The honey pot. Ew. So he talks about death, and he tells them basically expositionally exactly what's going to happen in the rest of the movie. Tells them about death, and then says, you don't want to fuck with that Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're very black, Tony Todd.
The Grim Reaper is a Mac Daddy.
Also, like, why is he... First of all, people dying is his whole business. So why wouldn't you just be like, yeah, fuck with him. Fuck right with that Mac Daddy. I'll see you in a day.
He does say that.
He says, see you soon, which is great.
Which I don't think as a morgue guy you should be allowed to say.
No, it's like a ship captain asking you where the life jackets are.
Yeah.
You should know, and also you shouldn't be asking.
It's like when you hear the instructions on an airplane when they're like, in case of an emergency.
Yeah. Just like saying Final Destination while on an airplane.
Oh, by the way, His luggage ticket said Final Destination
Yeah,
right on it.
I noticed.
Just in case you were wondering what movie you were watching.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah,
8 points of foreshadowing in the first 10 minutes of the movie didn't give it away.
so this mortician is just talking to these teens about death. And
He does it with an attitude like he's the one that's got to fill out the paperwork for the Grim Reaper every time he takes a life.
he does.
He just wants to reduce the amount of fucking filing he has to do later.
Oh boy. So Death has got a design, and Alex saw Death's plan, so they cheated Death, and now that Todd's dead, it proves that Death has a new design for them, which is basically what this horrible mortician says as he's showing teens a dead body.
This is a good interaction overall. There's not really the time.
He also is like, I don't know, he brings up examples of like opportunities where death can get you, and he's like, that red light you might run, some person you might have sex with or not, and
I don't know.
But he added the sex part in to be weird.
Yeah,
Just to make them
he did.
uncomfortable.
Also, like, why are you promoting abstinence? Do you work for the school?
He's a mortician. He's just trying to have the less people to die.
Also, read the room. These people are unnerved as fuck, and you're gonna come up menacingly. Like, where?
You just came out of a fucking hole in the wall.
I'm over here struggling to grasp the idea that my best friend is laying dead in front of me. I don't need to see Tony Todd's face and advice now.
No. He also explains that the arm twitched because the chemicals were touching his nerves, which
No, that's true.
It's unimportant, but it's a thing that happens.
That part is true. It sure does happen. And it's probably creepy as fuck every time. I don't care. You could have your sandwich right next to a brain, but it's still gonna gross you out when the fucking body sits up in front of you.
When the arm smacks it off the plate.
Or swaps them while you're not looking.
Sandwich, man.
Son of a bitch.
So now we're watching for omens because we're experts.
Yeah.
We talked to Tony Todd.
Claire's like, did you see Todd? Did you see him die? And he basically like, I didn't see Todd die, but I did throw a hustler into an oscillating fan. Is that anything?
Did I do good? I did.
We should do that again. Maybe we'll save ourselves.
Oh fuck! Alex is just going off. I don't know. He's just like, oh, omens. We gotta look for omens, signs.
Yeah.
Death is gonna show us things. Why would Death show you things when he's trying to kill you?
I literally wrote that down. Do they come from the same place? Is this like him being like, oh, you better watch out? Because if anything, you're just making your own job harder.
Yeah. And like, if figuring out his plan upsets him, I really don't see him being like, here's the cheat sheet.
Yeah, right.
Here, I wrote the answers on the back for you, buddy.
And I'll blame you when you get an A+.
You piece of shit.
Fuck.
And in this scene, I don't know, they're just like talking about omens, and then he's distracted by seeing a bus.
Yeah.
In the glass.
And then he looks on the road and it's not a bus. What it is Carter listening to 9 Inch Nails while he creepily kisses his girlfriend's fingers.
Is that 9 Inch Nails?
Yeah, it was.
And they just happen to have a song with the word Final Destination in it.
Yep.
Works for me.
Perfectly fine.
To be honest,
if you listen to any 9 Inch Nails song, I think the more surprising thing is that every single one of them doesn't have the phrase Final Destination in it.
Good to know. I thought it might have been like Corn or something like that.
That would make sense too.
Yeah, it just sounded kind of. I didn't think it was a real song. I thought it was just like, look at, we made this for the movie because it says Final Destination.
Later on, when they're all in the car together, while Carter decides that he's not only going to try and kill himself but everyone at once, I think there is just a random made-for-the-movie rock song playing, but I'm not 100% on. I didn't recognize that one. I'll know Trent Reznor's voice any day of the week though, with my eyes shut.
Oh, for sure. I don't know. I did not realize it was an actual song.
So
they chose well.
Miss Luton comes out of the coffee shop at the same time Carter decides to almost try and kill Stifler on his bike, thus getting everybody together into a group to make it easier for Death to kill everyone at once. If I was Alex in this situation, I would be like, everybody, stay the fuck as far away from me as possible and tell your parents to call me when you die so I know I'm next. That's it. Miss Luton is the only one in this movie with a good idea, which is I'm moving the fuck away.
She's smart. She's the teacher, that's why.
Everybody else is like, hey man, friends, all right.
Yeah, the jock almost splatters Stifler. He gets a sandwich run over. I don't know. He's like biking with a bag of groceries. He's always
I thought
on
maybe he
his
was like
bike.
delivering something for money, That's what I thought.
Oh boy, he's so simple.
The stunt doubles in this movie get really put through the ringer. In this case, Stifler's fucking stunt double really almost gets run over. He puts his foot out and the car hits it.
Yeah,
That's close.
Oh yeah, he gets
That's real close to dying.
It slides him across the ground, I'm pretty sure.
Holy fuck.
So yeah, they're like, oh, hey, teacher, why are you moving? And she's like, I'm moving.
'Cause fuck all of you. That's why.
Yeah, that's essentially why. She didn't want to talk to Alex at the memorial because he freaks her out.
Probably even less now.
Great reaction to have from a teacher, by the way.
Yeah,
Make
that's
me
really
feel
good.
really good about myself.
Fantastic role model.
And this is where we get just like, Terry, that's Carter's girlfriend who was mouth fucking him at the airport. She's had enough.
Reasonably upset with the fact that Carter tries to fight everything that breathes near him.
Yeah, Carter is he's just looking for reasons to beat up Alex.
Yeah.
And what does she say? She says something along the lines of like, hey, if you think that I'm going to stick around, well, you just like look for reasons to beat up Alex and like make this airplane crash thing the most important part of our lives. Like, no, I'm moving on. Bus.
Yeah, you are. Bus. You moved about 100 feet in whatever direction that bus was going. Now, here's my problem. There are a few problems with this movie, and one of them is nobody saw or heard a bus coming. Nobody saw or heard, even though they were looking in the direction of the bus coming in and went, watch out.
It's an e-bus.
It's an e-bus. That doesn't help the size aspect.
It's a silent killer. It's like a...
Buses cannot be described as silent killers. It's a very loud killer.
Well, yeah.
Very loud and messy killer, a bus.
Well, you would think that she would have... I mean, she stepped out in front of it.
That's true.
She had a beat. She could have stepped back.
Not only that, she also turned to face it right before it hit her.
Yeah, and as she turned to face it, she's like, y'all can drop dead.
Oh.
Splat.
One of us can.
Blood all over everybody.
She didn't really drop dead as much as she did explode dead.
Oh, she didn't so much drop dead as she was flung dead. Across the pavement.
She was
under
splattered
the bus.
dead.
Oh.
Like the chick who has to wear the face in the Devil's Rejects.
There's blood all over everybody. And I would say that Carter has no reaction at all. Like, he doesn't give a shit.
It turns out Terry was a bit of a hassle to be with, I guess.
Apparently. He's the only person who's upset is the teacher, and I think it's just because she's like, more blood, fuck.
Oh, great, I just showered.
I'm never going to get this smell out of my hair. And then, cut to everybody being stressed, so it's Alka-Seltzer time.
Yeah, every teenager in this movie loves Altoids.
Hey, when you... Back in the 90s, back in the 2000s,
yeah,
when your tummy was stressed, you dropped a fucking tablet of Alka-Seltzer in some water.
It's all good.
Or like
SodaStream, nowhere to be found in 2000.
That's not how you make seltzer.
It's basically the same goddamn thing.
I don't know what Alka-Seltzer is. All I know is you put it in your mouth.
It's just carbonation.
And it foams up and you're
it's like
a
drinking
dog.
bubbly.
You're a dog with rabies. And so Alka-Seltzer time. Alex has one. Claire has a whole goddamn package. And then
she really likes it.
She has her tummy is stressed.
Yeah, well, she's upset because her boyfriend in her own head won't answer her phone calls.
And also,
Alex fucking hates phones.
He does. He doesn't want to take a call. He doesn't want to call anybody to warn anybody. He doesn't want to call the police.
I'm busy obsessing like a nightmare person about this plane crash.
Oh,
let's watch more footage of it.
Pardon me while I'm just thumbing through my books and also watching this newscast where they're going to reveal this pump malfunction that's going to show you the path of death.
Yeah.
So you know the order in which everybody's going to die in. It's going to draw you a literal map.
Because news channels are concerned with that depth of information.
Hey, Alex, just so you know, this is the path.
Yeah.
They might as well have said that.
So now he somehow takes a screenshot of his television and then pulls it up in MS Paint so that he can draw over top of it.
Yeah, I don't know how he figured that one out, but he did.
Doesn't really make a whole lot. He just cut to him at his computer tracing it. Like, okay, well, first of all, you have the image, so you don't need to trace anything. Secondly, how did you do that? You are a witch.
Yeah, I don't think streaming websites were really a thing.
Nope.
You couldn't watch the news live on television
So
or
how-
live
yeah.
on the internet. Sorry.
So he took a picture with a fucking with a Kodak camera, went to the 1 hour photo at midnight to get it developed, and then scanned it into Paint. That's a lot of technology just to draw something.
It is. It really is. But I don't know how else it would have been done.
Yeah,
My only thing is like maybe he went on a news website and they had it on there.
I guess.
But
I get that's the
I'm
explaining the because movie thing.
I'm shrugging my shoulders
Yeah.
impossibly.
This is how he finds out that Miss Luton is next. Again, use your fucking phone. Instead, I'm gonna show up at the teacher's house, the one who hates me, and try to convince her to, I don't know, not die yet.
By skulking around her car?
By doing all of the things that a car thief or burglar would do.
Not even knocking on the door.
No.
Not a hey hello. I'm actually
gonna make a beeline for your fucking tires.
I'm gonna
so that you can look
hide.
out the window and see me doing that.
Ugh.
And then be surprised when you call the cops.
At this point, a breeze blows some curtains in
Even
her house.
though the window's shut.
Yep.
It's fine, Steph.
Yep, that's just death.
Fucking Miss Luton is an idiot and deserves to die in this movie.
Is it because she keeps a record raw dog on the floor in her closet? No sheath, just fucking.
I thought she pulled it out of a box, but that's fine.
That's still not good.
No, it's not. And also, like, that's her mother's favorite record. So she just hates her mom.
And it's just under some shit in her closet.
The antiques that were passed down like after her death, she just disrespects them by throwing them in the closet like a sock you don't want.
Ooh.
So this woman has no self-awareness whatsoever. She's making herself tea after getting expositional phone call that doesn't matter that she's crying on so that she can have an opportunity to explain the logic surrounding her moving. Fine. So she goes over and she fucking makes tea. Doesn't notice that the mug has the mascot from the high school on it until she's already drinking the hot water from it. And then she pours the water out. Actually, she throws the water out onto the floor instead of throwing the mug. You didn't notice when you pulled it out of the cupboard that it was that mug? You didn't notice when you were pouring it in that it was that mug? No, you had to have it right up to you. Do you need glasses, Miss Luton?
Did she even put a tea bag in the hot water?
Yeah, she does.
Okay,
But
good.
she doesn't wait long enough for it to steep before picking it up because
Well-
it's still clearly just water coming out.
Well, yeah, she probably burnt herself too.
And then she's like, all right, fuck this then. Vodka time. And now let me tell you. She puts like one ice cube in another mug and then pours vodka forever into that mug while it cuts away to like so that you can see it crack. You didn't hear that crack on your tile countertop? Also, now it's spilling everywhere. And as you're walking, you're not hearing the drips on your hardwood floor. Also, you're not hearing it drip onto the computer as you hover the mug over top of it while it's dripping right at head height. Also, your knee-jerk reaction to looking at a smoking computer is to get your face close enough to it so that when it explodes, you get stabbed in the throat.
Yeah.
Turns out that wasn't the first vodka she poured herself that day.
I didn't realize that vodka was gasoline.
So I had to look this up because, yes, the drip trail of vodka that she leaves goes all the way to the stove and bursts that on her too. In order for vodka to be flammable, it has to be over 100 proof, which is 50%. Which
Damn.
means Miss Luton's going through a real one. She's having a hard go tonight.
She is packing.
Like 8 shots of vodka and probably not your first one.
Oh, God. I don't know how much vodka she poured into that.
So much, dude. The cracking lasts forever, and the pour sound is just the whole. It's like 10 seconds. She's pouring vodka.
It had to have been a lot. Like she left a trail from
Yeah.
the kitchen to the living room, and then
Still had enough to drink out of it.
still had enough to pour in the back of her computer.
Yeah, all over the back of that poor computer. Also,
So yeah, drips down into the back of the most oldest ancient monitor I've ever seen. Fat ass back on this guy.
and for some reason during the scene where she's fucking pouring herself tea, they dropped the frame rate so it looks like 28 days later. Did you notice that?
No.
They did that thing where they slow it down to I think like 20 FPS, so it looks like stop motion animation almost, like really convincing stop motion animation.
Huh. I missed that.
Anytime there's like a heavy action scene in a movie, they do that, or a lot of the time anyway.
I did see that like death was behind her in the reflection of the of
The teapot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. For somebody who really wants people to die and not be blamed for it because he makes it look like accidents and murders all the time, he sure does show his fucking face.
Oh yeah, he was behind. Todd in the shower curtain.
Behind Todd in the shower curtain, Miss Luton's teapot, just out in Claire's driveway later.
Oh yeah, he's just like, hey, how's it going? Raking your leaves
Steph.
for you.
It's fine.
So monitor explodes.
Mm-hmm.
She gets it in the throat.
Yep.
She backs up to a door. What's on the door behind her?
I didn't see.
Stained glass knife.
Oh yeah, her front door just has a fucking big fat knife.
How welcoming of a house.
That's the first thing you see. Trick-or-treaters don't go there.
No, we don't go to the knife house. So yeah, the right there, that's the foreshadowing. It's all you get. It's all you need.
Great. Fine.
So she's bleeding from her neck, and all of a sudden sparks ignite this trail of gasoline, this gunpowder trail.
I want you to know that that piece of glass from the monitor. Also, this is why monitors are LED now, because this probably just happens to people in like 1980. That goes right into the side of her throat, and that's her carotid artery. She doesn't have time to scramble around. Once that shit gets severed, you got maybe like 15, 20 seconds.
She had enough time. Maybe didn't nick the whole thing, but
All right.
she had enough time to kind of walk around and
Walk
her
over
house
to the other dangerous stuff in her house and then get annihilated by that as well.
follow the trail of fire.
Yeah, to safety.
Nope.
She's trying to, I don't fucking understand. Like, her hand's doing a plenty good job preventing all of her blood from leaving her body. But she's like, I'd rather have a towel. So she pulls the one that's on the knife rack.
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, so house on fire.
Oh, yeah.
House burning. The stove has exploded.
The premonition that Alex gets is a man illegally burning garbage by the side of the road.
Yeah, he walks by and he's like, oh, fire. And he kind of blows the shit out of his face.
Pretty sure it's illegal to burn your tree leaves that close to the road.
Fuck the police.
Especially in this suburban-ass neighborhood that everybody lives in here, you rich fucks.
Right.
Notice that the only black man in this movie is in a service position. I don't know what race Shrek is, but it's probably Dwayne Johnson's.
I think he's, it's an island in Hawaii.
He's Laosian.
I don't think he's that, but, oh shit. So, yeah, the FBI takes Alex back and they try and interrogate him while all of this is happening.
He's basically
preventing him from saving this life.
Yeah. He's basically admitting that he understands death's design and only he is in control of whether or not people live or die. And that's that's good enough for us. You can go.
Yeah, we're not going to put you into an institution where, I don't know, the walls are foam and padded.
And you're hugging yourself constantly.
You just get out of here, scamp. Get out of
That
here.
little rascal that just said that he controls life and death.
Yeah, oh yeah, don't worry. Nobody will die if I get out. Okay.
Sure.
Get out of here, buddy. We got nothing to hold you on.
And now
You've only been seen at many scenes of crimes.
yeah, also finger wagging at him. You gave us your word.
Don't you do it.
Fuck.
Yeah, so the house is on fire.
It is.
Teacher bleeding from the neck. And she sees, I got to clean up this mess.
I can't leave a mess.
Give me that tea towel that's clearly draped over this knife block hanging over the edge of the counter.
I'll counterbalance that by pulling it full force, and I'll be fine.
Dodge that knife. Oh, you didn't.
No, dead center, actually. She did a horrible job of dodging the knife.
Oh, yeah. And so this is when Alex shows back up at her house and just kind of looks at her house.
Until he hears a scream. Let's run in there.
I don't know if it was a scream or just like a,
ugh! Okay, either way, there's no way it would be fucking louder than the 13 explosions that have happened inside the house.
It's the sound you make when you get stabbed.
Yeah.
Picture that sound. And so he goes in there and, death is at it. Death is doing his job.
Death is in full swing right now.
And you get Alex trying to pull the knife out. I don't know why you would ever do that.
Because he's 17 years old, he doesn't know anything.
Wow. If you're gonna get your fingerprints on a murder weapon, don't.
Take it with you?
Yeah, take it with you. That's way better.
Don't go, oh, my fingerprints are gonna be on this. I better leave it at the crime scene.
Throw it into the fire.
Also, leave your shoes in the burning house.
Yeah. Actually, no, don't do that.
Well, his footprint's already there in blood.
Well, here's the thing. It's been about an hour or two between him finding out this information and the fire.
Mm-hmm.
When did they take his shoe print? When did they take his fingerprints? When did they dust the knife for prints? And when did they send that to the lab for analysis?
Also, that takes like weeks.
This is pretty long ago. That shit is an instant.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so he runs into the house, finds his teacher stabbed. First of all, he sees a little trail of blood. I don't know why the fire burning the house down wasn't the first thing you notice.
It should be the first thing you notice, and then also reason enough to not enter the building.
It should.
And then when you see the blood, guess what? If the fire wasn't good enough, that sure is.
Yep. Hey, but nope.
Oh, blood and fire? I want to be anywhere else.
2 red flags. Let me walk right over them. And then he finds his teacher stabbed in the kitchen.
Weird.
And so as he's going to pull out the blade, Death is like, "Hey, don't do that." And he
I'd hate for you to do that.
Some shit like tips over. He has to tend to apparently
like the back of a chair. It just like drives it in further, which is like salting a wound.
Well, he's got a hold of the knife, and then he has to let go to like hold up a shelf. And when that happens, that's when the chair tips over. He looks back and Let
me just distract you for a second while I finish my work.
Oh my god, the chair tips over so perfectly.
Yeah,
just driving the knife in.
Now, the chair back has like the slats in it, but nope. Chair part. Yeah. Not the empty space around the chair.
So then he pulls the knife out and is like, "Oh, Dad.
Fuck this. I'm out.
This house is on fire."
And I don't know, like, this whole movie, Billy is just conveniently nearby. Like, he's the killer, and he's just waiting for a second to show his face.
Oh, yeah. Fucking Stifler is just... He's got his finger on the pulse of what's going on in this Long Island town.
And everywhere is within 10-minute biking distance in this town, also.
Fucking loves that bike. Loves that bike.
So he witnesses a murder because that's what it looks like from his perspective. And then he just, later on gets in the car with the guy like it ain't nothing.
He also rats on him. I don't know if they're supposed to be friends or not, but he definitely...
I don't think that's what I mean. Like, Alex and Todd are the only ones who are friends in this movie.
I don't know, man. High school's different.
Fuck.
So, this is where I think everybody meets up.
Yeah.
At the
Alex has decided the best way to keep everybody from dying around him is to have them close to him. So let's all meet up in the woods. And I get mad here because it's Claire, Billy, and fucking Carter all in the car, and she gets out and goes, "He could be anywhere between here and a mile down the road, so circle back and I'll meet you in a minute," because they're trying to covertly to avoid the FBI meeting Alex in the woods. He's 15 feet away from the car. You just wasted gas and time. Yep. And somebody else's of both.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so that the movie can have a convenient dialogue that's sentimental between the two of them, where she's like, "Yeah, a lot's going on, but my fucking dad's dead.
Yeah,
my dad got his cat peeled back at a gas station, and then my mom married a guy and left. Anyway, let's figure out this death issue, huh?"
Life ain't so bad. We're only gonna die. Yeah, fucking that happens. I think there is, I think they meet up at, like, the memorial because the guy wants to scratch his girlfriend, Terry. He wants to scratch Terry's name.
He wants to vandalize a memorial for dead children.
By scratching an unrelated dead person's name into the plaque. Like,
it doesn't... My uncle died a couple years ago, and he was Jewish. I better go to a Holocaust memorial and add his name to it. That's how that works, right?
No.
Oh, that's weird. Carter seems to think so.
They decide they're going to Claire's dad's cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
That's what they decide. So they fucking get in Carter's car. This terrible fucking car.
This car sucks.
It's a pretty sweet car.
It's awesome, but as with all muscle cars, very unreliable engine.
As we find out.
When you redline it for 20 minutes in order to scare people who think you're their friend, turns out you might overheat it a little.
Alex...
Because it's manual for sure, and he puts his hands up on the ceiling.
Yeah, he does.
So he's not switching gears.
Alex breaks it to everybody that, Death has got a plan, and we're all in line to be murdered here. Carter doesn't take this very well.
No.
That he is next in line.
The opposite. Well, I mean, it's implied. We all know as audience members that Carter's the next in line, but Alex is like, I'm not going to tell you that. But the information wouldn't make you feel any better anyway.
Yeah. So Carter's like, well, I get it. if I'm going to die, I'm just going to die then.
Listen, I'm not going to say you're next, but you're fucking next.
Oh, you think I'm going to fucking die? Well, I'm going to fucking die. And he just starts driving like an asshole to upset everybody.
Billy says he's not hanging out with Carter anymore, as if they were ever friends. All Billy's gotten from Carter is punches in the face at various times,
and just like near misses with his car and bike.
Yeah,
he even tries to like grab the wheel and gets an elbow.
Dead, like right to the fucking top lip too.
Oh boy. So as they're driving around screaming and just being upset that they're about to die,
Well, Carter just suddenly unilaterally changes his mind.
Well, no. He's like, oh man, if I'm going to see Terry on the other side, this is worth it. Come on, guys, let's all fucking die.
Let's park on train tracks.
Yeah.
At the perfect time. He parks on the train tracks, and then the fucking railroad, like the blockade thing goes down like 5 seconds. Like if you had been a little bit later, you would have missed your chance.
Mm-hmm. Before that, Alex sees a train reflection, and he also sees a broken belt buckle.
Yes.
Or broken seat belt.
True.
And
belt seat.
So they all get out, and this is where Carter's like,
JK.
Yeah, I don't know if this was a joke or if he just changed his mind or not, but he's like, it ain't my time after all, and tries to start his car again.
And just like a fucking 78 Mustang that you fixed up yourself in your dad's garage, she don't start too good.
No, and lo and behold, the doors lock and will not unlock.
It's one of those little knob locks that you can pull up with 2 fingers.
But
we'll just try the handle over and over. Maybe it'll break.
When you're panicking, you don't think about the little knobs in life.
Even though he watched it with his own 2 eyes lock on him.
Well,
hit the latch, fuckface. Your hand's right there.
Try the other door.
Yeah.
Try the maybe sunroof.
Windows wide open. Get out that way.
Yeah, just take your seatbelt off.
Oh, wait. It's stuck.
Oh, I bet it is.
You're telling me that Carter doesn't just have a switchblade like John Travolta in Grease? You know that he does.
Look at him.
Yeah.
He's a walking purveyor of switchblades.
He fucking practices butterfly knife tricks in front of school kids all day.
When he loses his switchblade, another one grows in its place.
It's like a starfish.
But yeah, no, the seatbelt just won't budge, so Alex has to power lift.
Yeah.
He starts pulling him through the window of this car with the train just nipping at his heels.
Alex should be going to Scotland instead of Paris to do strongman Highland competitions because he can deadlift like 580. Those seatbelts are designed to stop like G-forces that would splatter a skull on a windshield.
Honestly, I'm surprised that he didn't pull Carter's top half off his bottom half.
Oh, yeah. Somebody else, though, gets that separated from that real easily and nicely in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, so they make it look like they all get hit with the car.
Yeah.
Or the train. They make it look like the train hits the car.
Alex saves Carter impossibly because the train is literally a foot away by the time that he gets out of the car.
Nipping at his heels.
Yeah.
But they make it look like they got hit. They did.
You get a red herring for about 5 seconds as we watch the train pass.
And if you watch the car, you can see that the car was it was cut in half and then welded to just delicately.
Yeah. Like the Howling with the breakaway doors.
Yeah, you can just see like the metal skeleton on the inside of the car, like how it's so cleanly cut.
Perfect.
So yeah, and this is just this whole thing. This whole ordeal has just been too much for Billy.
Yeah, he's over it.
Yeah.
He's going to stand up and announce while standing in one position right near a speeding train how over it he is.
And as he's just screaming, you're going to die. I'm getting the fuck out of here. We see this metal shard under the train.
Why is that there?
Well, because of the car accident, you see.
Oh, okay.
The thing that's bringing the police. Because it was a huge explosion and probably seen for a little bit anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
They're kind of in the middle of nowhere. I don't know how the cops know about that shit so fast.
Either way, they're immediately like, the cops are going to show up. You better get the fuck out of here. Baby, this is when I noticed. This is when Clear starts, just decides that we're boyfriend and girlfriend in the car.
Come on,
We sat beside each other in the back of a bully's car. That makes us together.
Yeah. So he's Billy's shouting, you're going to die. You're a piece of shit. And then this is when just a chain on the train connects with that piece of metal.
Yeah. and flips it backwards into Stifler's mouth.
Hey, he eats it in reverse.
He does.
He peels his fucking cap back.
His wig gets separated from its scalp.
Oh, snatched right off his head.
And also the rest of him all the way down to the top jaw. Just rolls down the fucking street. I'm surprised Carter didn't kick it like a football.
He seems like the type, too.
He does. Field goals.
And this is where they realize, like, oh, people can be skipped.
Yeah.
I saved Carter. Billy was next.
That's right.
Oopsie.
So at that point, wouldn't it make sense for him to also remember that he switched seats on the plane? Or that he didn't in real life? Thus making him next?
It takes him an awful long time to realize that he switched seats. I would have thought of that immediately. First of all, you don't switch seats on an airplane.
I mean...
You don't. You don't do it.
Okay.
Airplane crashes. Guess how they're identifying your body?
Right.
Which seat you were in.
Well, dental records.
Teeth scattered. You think teeth are staying in your mouth when you hit the ground going that fast? Your teeth will be in different counties. There's no teeth.
Oh, whose tooth is this? Anyone's?
Next state over. Oh, fucking tooth rain. We weren't expecting that this time of year.
Amazing.
It was bicuspids.
I missed the part where Alex has not been killed yet since he was supposed to be after Todd. How do they explain that until it's relevant to the movie?
They don't.
Oh.
Yep, we'll gloss over that.
Oh, okay. Let's gloss right over the major plot hole.
Don't worry about it.
That's fine.
So they realize that Alex can intervene because he can see Death's plan. So they decide they're going to this cabin, which is the cabin from Lake Placid.
Yep, sure.
It is.
It is?
It is.
That's sick. Where's Betty White to tell me to suck her dick?
She's next door.
Oh, good.
Actually, she's been eaten by the gator.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
Why did you go to the Lake Placid cabin when you were worried about being killed?
I just ruined Lake Placid for everybody. Oh, no. Betty White. She's dead.
Jeez. Isn't she dead in real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't die in the movie. She dies in real life, though.
Ah.
So we're at the cabin. We're safety proofing the cabin, which involves putting corks on loose screws and nails sticking out of the wall.
Yeah, which, I mean, if you fell on that with any weight, guess what's going to happen? Both the screw and the cork are probably going to go up in you.
Now, you know what would probably work a smidge better? I don't know. Hammering it all the way into the wall or pulling it out of the wall.
Yep. Removing it.
I don't care if you don't have anything to hang your keys on.
He's wrapping lamps in duct tape as if Death didn't just kick up a piece of scrap metal and send it boomeranging 20 feet into a man's head.
Oh, yeah. At the
Death could probably just,
light.
fucking loosen the hinges on a door and have it land on you. He didn't put away the fucking fishing rod with the fucking spiked lure on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, he neglected the weapon closet.
I think he put everything into that closet.
Why wouldn't you put it outside instead of behind a door? Behind a door with a handle that can be opened with a piece of fishing line, like Death does.
Final Destination.
So he notices that that's happening. First of all, you're relegating yourself to tin can food. That can lid is sharp, so you're fucked.
Well, he puts those big fat gloves on.
It doesn't stop it from Death just blowing a small breeze and having that slice your throat wide open.
True.
He's a very creative man, Death.
Yeah, Death tries to get under the door. It blows a bag over, which rolls a can over to a fishing rod, which knocks the fishing rod over, which...
Death is apparently Rube Goldberg.
Yeah. A lot of these deaths are me like, and then this happened, which made this happen, which made this happen, and now Todd's dead.
This is what... Death's mistake is making it too complex and intricate.
Death should just... Like, the wind should just blow and a gun should go off.
Yep.
The wind blows, Death just walks in, poof,
so it pulls the handle on the door and he stops the door just in the nick of time. Then he goes inside the closet anyway and pulls out one rusty fish hook. The entire closet is full of weapons. One of them stopped inches from your face and embedded itself in a door just now.
Yeah, you just had a knife that could be...
It was like a fucking ice climber's mountain pick.
And it was dislodged and it got velocity to stab through a door.
Yeah.
And all it took was that door opening. Was it...
Glue that door shut. Weld it. Get clear to weld it.
I love that. Yeah, he's like, fishing. This fishing hook.
And then
tetanus. You almost got me, you shithead.
So now, First of all, mouthing off at death. Such a dickhead.
Uh,
Also, though, if now disease is on the table, that means you can't death-proof literally anything because you're going to have to eat and drink at some point. How do you know the water's not bad? It's a cabin. Oh, Jardia, I'm done. Whoops. I just shit myself until I died.
you gotta stop poking holes in this film.
Well, fucking if death has control over giving people diseases. Whoops, AIDS. My bad.
But like there would have to be a Rube Goldberg experiment in between you getting AIDS and...
Wouldn't you be able to just manifest cancer in someone's brain if you're deaf?
It's gotta be Rube Goldberg or else it just isn't good on TV.
I knocked over a canister of air and now you have cancer in your brain. Whoops. My bad.
We got that... What are they, visiting a lab where they're manufacturing airborne cancer?
He controls wind. You could just have it blowing on the breeze.
I don't...
Right off someone's nostril. Boop, AIDS. Just like that.
Well, I mean, that he could just have a mosquito swarm just...
Yes. Malaria. Whoops. See?
But he doesn't have that.
Apparently.
Instead he eats some old chicken fucking... I wouldn't have eaten it.
Dude, it looked like dog food.
If I'm worried about dying, I wouldn't have eaten it.
No. An unlabeled can I found at a cabin? You might as well just kill yourself.
And the way it looks when he opens it...
Yeah, this has been sweating.
I'll tell you, it's mushed banana is what he eats, but it's like a chicken spread.
That's so fucking gross.
While this is going on, he realizes, is this where he's like, I moved seats.
Yeah.
Claire's next, so I'm good. What am I doing here? I'm fine.
I better get the fuck out of here, as a matter of fact.
Meanwhile, at Claire's, all hell is breaking loose.
Yeah, it sure is. Now, Claire has been surveilled by the FBI since, I believe, Miss Luton's death at this point. So she's been having a very difficult time leaving the house. Anyway, she decides the only way to compromise with the two FBI agents is to tell them the address of the fugitive that she is trying to protect.
Does she? Does she actually do that?
Well, that's how because she's like, I want to come with you. That's the deal. And they're like, no. Okay, here's the address then.
So the FBI just fucked Claire then?
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, they're
Great.
like, we promise we'll bring him home safely in protective custody. Oh, arrest him? Oh, the thing that he doesn't want, and neither do I? Okay, I'll facilitate that.
Oh, yeah, well, here's the address, here's the postal code, and if you show up between 5 and 6, that should be a great time.
Also, this is a list of his fears and his church schedule.
On the back of his picture.
Yeah. So they rock up just as Alex is leaving to try and save Claire's life.
And he makes an escape in a canoe. The slowest...
They go, let's go around the lake and catch him on the other side. How about this? You have guns. Shoot holes in the canoe. He's going to have to come back to shore.
No.
No, we're not going to do that.
I'm afloat here forever. You cops can't come in here.
Oh, little did you know I was on the waiting team in high school.
Fuck it. The waiting team. I'm so fucking buoyant.
I don't even need life jackets.
Fucking... He's in a canoe.
Also,
Speed walk into the water.
Yep. Also, he canoes so fast that he ends up on shore with enough time to get a head start from the police in cars.
Damn.
That motherfucker, his upper body strength is clearly insane.
Did he, like, fucking beach that thing so good?
He must
slam it up into the...
Fuck Claire's dad's, like, memory.
Yeah, fuck that.
So while he's escaping, Claire keeps looking outside and seeing lightning strike things and being progressively more upset by that, but not enough to actually do anything. Mm-hmm. It knocks a fucking, and this is what I mean about the intricacy of the fucking deaths. Death has the capability to dislodge a telephone wire and turn it live. Just swing that shit around like a fucking sea urchin's dick until you electrocute to death the thing that you want to.
That's what they do.
That's all it had to do. Instead, I'm going to have it poke a hole in the fucking pool in the backyard and spill water instead of just touching her.
Well,
instead of touching her.
That's what he tries to do.
It would be incredibly... So,
It whips around. It fucking chases her up a ladder, for God's sake.
It chases her up the goddamn the trellis that she grabs on the side of her house that has roses on it that James Vanderbeek used to sneak into his underage girlfriend's fucking bedroom in fucking Dawson's Creek.
True. Okay. That is the same lattice.
It's probably the exact same lattice. While this is happening, Alex gets trapped in 3 inches of water underneath a tree that falls on him, as if he can't just turn his head to the side and breathe air.
He does do that indeed.
Claire's entire house begins to explode from electrical interference. So she gets in the fucking car in the garage, and this is my point. Death has enough precision with this wire to break a hole in the garage door by hitting the same spot more than once.
Yeah.
You can't just poke the person with electricity to death.
It's not long enough. The cord can't stretch. It's a
It
cable.
can't stretch. It stretches all the way into the goddamn garage where she is, but it can't fucking grab her while she's outside on some rose, whatever you would call that.
Well, no, because the whole thing was like the clothes rack was supposed to take off and get her. That didn't happen. So
Death is just like...
It rolls over, pokes a hole in the pool to have more water for the electricity to do its thing, you know?
So basically, Death is Mr. Magoo.
It is. And even with all that water on the ground, it just doesn't touch the water.
Right away, like it could easily have.
Yeah, and killed her and the dog.
Yeah, fuck that dog also. You know what? Because she puts herself in danger and almost dies in order to save her dog, because the dog is stupid enough to bark at electricity.
And
Get a new dog.
It ends up running off anyway.
Get a new fucking dog tomorrow. With the life that you have now.
Yeah, she just stands there. She's watching her dog bark at electricity whipping in its face.
Yeah. Listen, some things have it coming.
Yeah, she when she goes to get her dog too, she just stands there.
Yep.
Just stands there and watches all this.
You don't grab it by the collar and pick it the fuck up?
Yeah, I don't care how big it is, yank it.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna learn real fast.
Oh, yeah, it's that or it dies, so it's up to you.
When Claire's in the garage, Death makes the automatic garage door opener fall into the windshield, and so, like, the car gets stuck.
Mm-hmm.
She has now, at this point, backed halfway through the garage door. Alex shows up. Garage door is fully intact. Whoops.
Stop that.
Whoops, guys.
Stop right there.
They go so far as to have a long establishing shot of the house right at the front.
Oops.
And then they make it seem like it was the back, but the door is the same. Fucked up.
Well, I'll
It's all
tell you
good.
what, I was too enthralled with the electricity of this moment in the film to notice that.
Also, after the trellis idea sort of fails, Claire grabs onto and then monkey bars across the eaves troughs. Ask Chevy Chase how well eaves troughs hold a person up.
Oh, yeah.
They don't.
They're not made with much.
Not to mention, how long has it been since your dad died and your mom left? That roof probably needs replacing, which means those are hanging on by a thin thread.
And they were.
Yep.
She slips right off of that shit. And then the wire plugs into the side of her house somehow, and all of her things explode.
But the fact that she's not standing on the floor of an electrified house, that's not enough to electrocute her to death either.
I don't know how it works, Jay.
Yeah, just fucks around.
I don't know how death electricity works. I don't know how it works.
He's just trying to scare her outside by fucking around like a ghost with the light fixtures. Woo! It's like fucking flipping a switch. It's the death equivalent of flicking a switch.
It is.
In order to scare somebody out so that you can complete your unfinished business.
Get out.
Death is just a ghost. That's it.
The cable lands on the hood of the car, which I'm guessing kills the car.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Sure.
I don't know how that works either, but I assume. I remember doing this. They had like it wasn't a demonstration, but they had some fucking firefighters or some shit show up and like teach us what to do in the event that a telephone cable falls on your vehicle.
Right.
And what you're supposed to do is get the fuck out and then hop with your feet together so that you're creating one spot of conductivity the whole time. Because if you separate your feet, the electricity will pass through you and you'll die.
That makes sense.
Alex, perfectly fine walking right up to the hood of the car and grabbing it, though.
Oh, yeah, he manhandles that shit. And he just gets a little crispy hands for all his trouble.
He gets a crispy hand, or both crispy hands, and he gets the wind knocked out of him by a car explosion. You're going to sit there and tell me that he survived that? Because he fucking didn't he?
Oh, he for sure did. Death sucks.
Yeah, he's bad at his job.
Well, he was going after Claire. He wasn't ready for Alex to which I don't know why. He's been fucking his plans up this whole movie.
Oh, that guy? I better deal with him first.
The cop's gun just goes off
Yeah,
randomly.
exactly. Misfire. Whoops, that happens all the time.
So he tries to get the cable off the car with a shovel, which he ends up throwing.
He swats a live electrical cable with a metal shovel with a metal handle.
But he's okay.
He's just fine.
Yeah. I mean, he's fine enough to throw that shovel at fucking canisters of like compressed gases. And
Yep.
so we have that go off and go under the car.
So now the car's going to explode because it's on fire. Also not enough to kill him is grabbing high voltage power lines. Because that's what he fucking does. He goes, all right, we're going to skip you by killing myself.
Hey.
And he can't even do that right. Even when somebody wants to die, Death can't do it. Incompetent.
Poor Death. And then, there's films and films after this one of Death just fucking, man. That guy...
Like being bad at it. Final Destination really is just a comedy about Michael Scott. He fumbles his way to success despite his best efforts.
Oh, God. If Michael Scott was Death, I think we'd be all fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He get his head stuck in an elevator or something.
These movies are just about Death being bad at his job.
Yeah, it is.
That's all it is.
The FBI are on scene and they do a really good job of not only not saving Alex's life, but then letting Claire contaminate an active crime scene. Because let me make this extremely clear. Alex's footprints were in the blood of a dead person, and his fingerprints were on the knife that stabbed her. He is still very much a murder suspect. As a matter of fact, people have been convicted for less. 6 months later, we're in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
As if all of these people wouldn't be on a no-fly list forever.
And you know who we invited? Fucking
Carter for no reason.
Yeah, the guy who hasn't been here for the last 20 minutes, the guy who was a dickhead the entire film. Let's bring him because he was the only one left as well.
You know, when I was planning this celebratory trip to Paris with my girlfriend after having survived horrible electrocution and living happily ever after, I realized there wasn't anything that might make me miserable on this trip. So I asked her, and she said, you know what? We could invite Carter. Fuck yeah!
Oh, man, that's just what this trip needs.
Turn this trip to Paris as a couple romantically into just a tricycle of awkward third wheelness for Carter. And he's like, yup, sign me up for that.
Oh, I'd love to go to Paris while you two bang, for sure.
Yeah, I'll just sit here by the big 180 sign that I don't notice.
Yeah,
even though it's going to be the most important number in my life for the rest of it.
Yes, for the rest of it.
The very short remainder of my life, yeah.
So,
even though we're romantically trying to escape the city where all of our friends and some of our family died, I'm going to bring the diagram.
Yeah, hey, guy, remember this?
Matter of fact, I'm going to bring the diagram of a plane procedurally exploding onto the plane.
Yikes.
You know, this is pre 9/11 because nobody's frisking and seeing that and being like, excuse me? These look like plans.
Are these plans or a diagram?
Like, fuck. Might as well just have a list of flammable liquids in your pocket.
Oh, yeah. And you know what you want to do when you're on a nice vacation to get away from it all, to forget about your trouble. Bring your troubles in your pocket.
Yeah, relive my trauma.
Hey, guys.
Walk everybody through it.
I know how we finally made it to this place where we were trying to go in the beginning of the movie, bringing this whole thing to a close, but am I next? I could be next.
Or is it you? Because I didn't switch seats like I thought I was gonna switch seats, but then I didn't because that was just a vision, right? One thing I can't figure out about this thing that we're all trying to forget.
That's right. He didn't switch seats at all.
No, he was gonna, he did in his vision, but then he didn't. He just got the fuck off the plane. Which is why it doesn't make sense that he lived as long as he did without any explanation.
Well, here we are.
Because if you can intervene on your own death, you're good. Oh, I'll just intervene every time.
Yeah.
Because I'm here and I am me.
And I understand what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And I know where the danger lies. For sure.
Fuck.
So, they all get freaked out.
Yeah. They all get freaked out discussing the fucking design and then Carter's like, thanks for bringing me on your romantic getaway to Paris. By the way, I'm happy because I know that you'll both die before me.
Yeah, and when you two are dead, that's when I get worried.
Isn't this a super chill and upbeat vacation we're taking?
Even if it circles back around, you two are first.
Good.
I don't know why the idea of it circling back around had never crossed any of their minds.
Oh my god. Until now? Yeah, great.
So we get Alex being like, oh, don't say that. I'm gonna get the fuck away from you guys because I'm next.
Yep. Also, like, you don't know that you haven't noticed that every time more than one of you is together with another one, somebody bites the dust?
Move to different parts of the country.
Yeah, dude.
Just be
Different
email
parts
friends.
of the world.
Keep in touch over MSN.
Yeah, send each other nudes occasionally.
What are you, better than the rest of us?
Yeah.
So yeah, Alex almost steps in front of a bus.
Yeah.
Almost.
And this is the other example of a stunt double really getting the business, because he almost steps in front of the bus. The fucking screws are falling off of a scaffold. Alex sits at this fucking cafe for way too long watching things happen that are like, if this was 6 months ago, somebody would be dead already. He's just like cool with it.
He's enthralled with the Rube Goldberg
For way too long.
machine.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting to watch.
It is, yeah. One thing happens and it makes a whole list of other things happen to make one single thing happen. Amazing.
My other 2 sentences or less for this movie were the only thing scarier than having to evade death for the rest of your life is the way that meat is handled in Paris, France. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I did.
The dirty truck that Vincent D'Onofrio drives in Men in Black when he's a roach exterminator.
Yeah.
Fucking, I Know What You Did Last Summer hooks in the meat, and the guy wears no gloves and just fucking has that whole carcass over his dirty, filthy shoulder right into a restaurant with that. There's no health inspectors in France, apparently.
Different cultures.
Holy fuck.
They're less concerned with shoulder hair than more concerned with just big fucking heaps of meat.
Also, I don't know why Clear decided to be in a long-term relationship with the guy who essentially is going to have a bunch of like pictures tacked up on every wall of their house together later on as a conspiracy theorist about plane crashes.
I see where you're going with that.
She's like, I don't want to hear it anymore. At that point, Alex should have just turned to her and been like, well, you're going to hear it forever.
This is me now.
Have you seen my bedroom? It's plane crash books and bullet casings. There were a bunch of empty bullet casings on his desk.
Oh, you know what
in
else?
an earlier scene, and I noticed, and I made a point of writing it down because I was going to be like, if the FBI ever investigates this guy and raids his house, he's fucked. He's been doing research.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's got way too many plane crash books for somebody who hasn't caused a plane crash yet. He's also got, he's got FedEx boxes in behind him.
Yeah.
Because of Castaway.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
Castaway.
another plane crash film.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I did. I had a memory of this movie having a lot more references to other movies in it. Like, I saw a couple, but I thought there were way more.
I think there were. I didn't go through the trivia page too deep, but there was a couple anyway.
Anyway, this fucking Rube Goldberg machine causes a giant neon 180, which you should have avoided for the rest of your life, to fall. And then Carter saves Alex by tackling him out of the way. And if you watch really closely, you can see the stunt double crank his head off of that cobblestone.
Ooh, I might have to go back and watch that.
Thunk.
I hope he got a little bonus for that.
He even does that thing where like he lifts his head up and like, because you want to finish the scene because it's your job, but you're also not okay. You know?
I'm going to go back and watch that. I'm glad it got left in the film.
Holy fuck. So then Carter's standing over Alex and goes, well, if it skipped you, who's next? Because he just saved Alex's life. And then end credits on the cut to black when the sign, like a pendulum, as signs do when they're suspended by cables, comes back and nobody sees it. Nobody sees this giant sign the size of a fucking Mack truck barreling toward them.
Yeah, he kind of really forgot that it was going to swing back because that's science.
Yeah.
That's how momentum works.
Ever seen a fulcrum before?
Did you hear it snap?
It's called a simple machine. You learn that shit when you're like 6.
It's a simple machine for a simple bitch.
And we're left with the pressing and burning question. How is Alex not charged with Luton's murder regardless?
Oh, you mean not who's next, but...
No.
Oh, yes.
Also, who's next?
Yeah, he really did flee the country, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
6 months after the murder happened.
Yeah, these are all correct things. No trial. I guarantee you a murder trial is going to last longer than 6 months.
Oh, for sure it is.
Just getting it into the system is going to take longer than that.
Oh, my God. Well,
That's Final Destination, everybody. I believe I gave it an 8 out of 10 because I love it.
I gave it an 8 out of 10 as well.
Look at that.
It's
Finally, we've come back to a movie that we can agree on the rating for.
something nice, different. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just was a movie. It was refreshing.
Any movie where the major thing you have to deal with is something supernatural, there's going to be flaws in the reality of it.
There has to be.
You got to just sort of take that, you know?
When you live in a universe with supernatural things, it's,
Yeah. Some things are inexplicable,
and
right?
that's the way it has to be.
Yeah.
Or else you're just living in the actual world.
Yeah, science just made an advancement. That's what that's called.
Yeah. Fuck.
Somebody who's very smart learned more.
Nah, ghosts are got all spooky up in my walls, and now my house rings when people call me.
Sir, that's a telephone.
No! Devil phone! That devil box be ringing.
All right.
Okay.
I'm hoping when I put this down on the table that you didn't see the movies that I had picked.
I wasn't looking.
I got 3 for you.
3. All right, let's do this.
Really, basically death-related themes for this one.
Okay.
The first one is outrunning inevitable death forever,
Ooh.
as in for the rest of your life. Then I have designing death, which is a play on Tony Todd saying death's design in the movie, and everybody, and him saying, Alex saying it as well.
Okay.
And unnerving Tony Todd cameo.
Cameo.
Yeah.
Ooh. So we got It Follows. That's the only one I can think of where you're outrunning death by fucking people.
Shout out to Kate for that suggestion. It actually fit really well the more I thought about it.
I can't think of the other two.
Designing death and unnerving Tony Todd cameo.
Designing death.
Yes.
I feel like I do know this one.
Throw it out there.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
what it is,
you
but-
will when I say it,
Yeah.
if that's the one you choose.
And then we got
The Tony Todd cameo one, I'm not sure if you've seen or not, but the hint that you're going to get is that it would have been a movie that I would have made you watch drunk in my basement.
oh shit. So a terrible movie, huh?
It's actually great. But yeah. It's also got Kane Hodder in it.
Oh, I think I know what it is, but I can't remember the name of it. Let's go. Let's go It Follows.
You want to do It Follows, okay?
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
Okay, well, I hope you like a movie that's essentially one long allegory for an STD,
Hey,
because that's what it is.
what were the other two?
For Designing Death, we had Saw,
Oh,
because that's his whole job in the movie.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was thinking.
And for unnerving Tony Todd cameo, Hatchet.
Hatchet. Okay, I was thinking it was See No Evil. I think Kane Hodder's in that one.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that movie, too. You're thinking Kane from wrestling?
Oh, am I?
And Kane Hodder is, I think he's the man who played either Leatherface or Jason.
He's Jason.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting. Okay, I'm in. It
fucking follows, eh?
Damn, I haven't seen Saw in a long time.
A lot of fucking in this movie.
There is.
It's mostly about fucking, as a matter of fact.
I'm. You know what? I'm excited for something different.
2 pages of describing fucking, and then a page and a half of the rest of the movie.
Hey, next week.
Grindhouse Movie Club. If it ain't about fucking, it's about shitting. And if it ain't about one or the other, it's about both at once.
Or what happens after you do the two.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Mountain Dew's rejected slogan. As opposed to, because it was do the do for the longest time.
Oh yes. Do the poo.
Yes.